Produced by Liang Gu, Dongpa Ci, full text, Shuilangjian, thousands of miles away, it is impossible to reach. There is Sima Ziwei on Tiantai, who lives in the red region. His name is Jiangke, so you can go there. Nature returns. After receiving the teaching from Ziwei, he passed away in the daytime. Ziwei wrote 7 chapters of Zhuang Luan and 1 chapter of Shu. He was more than 100 years old. At the end of the day, he said to his disciples, "I live on Yuxiao Peak, looking eastward at Penglai, and I feel that a true spirit has descended. Now I am summoned by the Qingtong Lord of the East China Sea." The cicada took off and flew away. Later, Li Taibai wrote Dapeng Fu and said, "I saw Ziwei in Jiangling, and said that I have immortal spirit and spirit, which can travel with the spirit to the 8 extremes." In the winter of the 7th year of Yuan Feng, I passed by Lin Huai, and Mr. Zhanran, Mr. Liang Gong, was there. The face of a child is clear, like that of a person in his 20s or 30s, but there are things that are rare among people. Good at playing the iron flute. There was a loud sound of breaking through the clouds and cracking the rocks. He composed a song called Shui Long Yin, remembering the events of Ziwei and Taibai, and sang it relying on their voices. There was a loud sound of breaking through the clouds and cracking the rocks. He composed a song called Shui Long Yin, remembering the events of Ziwei and Taibai, and sang it relying on their voices. In the human world, there are laymen in Qicheng, dragons, and phoenixes. Pure and inactive, sitting and forgetting the photos left behind, 8 wonderful words. Looking eastward towards the jade sky, Penglai is dark and misty, with clouds and phoenixes riding on it. Traveled all over Kyushu and the 4 seas. Laughing pink powder, falling flowers and flying catkins. When I saw him by the river, I was speechless and made him look like an immortal. The 8 figures are wandering around, facing each other in great awe, and they are drinking and drinking. When your talent is ready, you will ride a whale on a steady road, and we will meet you soon. The Song of the Water Dragon, a gift to Zhao Huizhi, the flute-playing servant. The bamboos in Chushan are like clouds, and the exotic materials show off thousands of forests. The dragon's beard is half-twisted, the phoenix's head is slightly swollen, and the jade muscles are evenly wound. The trees are falling in Huainan, the rain is in the eyes and the clouds are dreaming. The moon is bright and the wind is blowing. Since Zhonglang disappeared and Huani left, I know how much disappointment I have suffered. I heard that the governor of Lingnan had a deep back hall and a petite green bead. The Qichuang school is here for the first time in Liangzhou, but the colorful clothes are not finished yet. Chuing Zhenghan Palace, Pan Commerce Liuyu, a sound of clouds. In order to make you wash away, the wild wind and miasma rain make frost and dawn. Shuilangjian, Ciyun Zhang Jifu Yang Huasi, by second rhyme chapter Jifu Yang Huasi. No one cherishes teaching. Leaving home on the road, thinking is ruthless and thoughtful. The lingering damage to the soft intestines makes the delicate eyes want to open but also close. The dream travels thousands of miles with the wind, looking for the man's whereabouts, but is still called by the oriole. I don't hate that these flowers have all flown away, I hate that the red flowers in the west garden are difficult to decorate. Dawn has come and the rain has passed. Where is the trace? There is a pool of broken apples. I don't hate that these flowers have all flown away, I hate that the red flowers in the west garden are difficult to decorate. Dawn has come and the rain has passed. Where is the trace? There is a pool of broken apples. There are 3 parts of spring scenery, 2 parts of dust, and 1 part of flowing water. If you look closely, it's not Yanghua Jindian. It is the tears of separation. Shuilangjian, I was relegated to Huang. On the 17th day of the first lunar month, I dreamed of crossing the river in a boat. Looking back from the middle of the river, there was a mixture of singing and music in the building. The people in the boat said, "It's only fair to receive guests when the public is visible." I feel different, so I wrote this word. At the time of his public appearance, he had taken up an official position in Suzhou. The lingering sound of beautiful songs surrounds the clouds and lingers in the water. Thinking of my old friend, the old man, his romance has not diminished. I look back alone in the mist. I pushed the pillow and disappeared, but the river was empty and the moon was bright for thousands of miles. When the 5 lakes heard the news, they returned in small boats. Still carrying Shizi. Yinmeng Nanzhou, south bank of Wuchang, should remember my past travels. In the romantic dream, the dishes came to see me, but they were mixed. Man Ting Fong, Zhong Lan came to say goodbye from Jiangdong. So he wrote it down and left it behind. Chicken and Dolphin Club wine, persuade Lao Dongpa. What's the matter? When this is over, things in life come and go like a shuttle. Wait and see, the autumn wind and the clear waves of Luo Shui. Fortunately, the thin willows in front of the hall should remember me and Mo Jian Rook. Still spreading the word. The elders in the south of the Yangtze River are fishing in the sun. The courtyard is filled with fragrance. The carved plates of incense sticks and the ice chopsticks grown in the cold are a unique scenery in the painting hall. The host is affectionate, and the banquet is red. The greasy jade round rolled plain neck, the lotus root silk is tender. Newly woven fairy clothes. After the 2 songs, the empty eaves turn to the moon, and the lingering rhyme is still melodious. Where in the human world is it commonplace? It should be said to be ordinary. There is a mad visitor in the house, which makes me feel upset and worried. It is reported that the golden hairpin has fallen, and the 10 fingers are exposed. The spring bamboo shoots are slender. I have seen it in person, completely defeated Song Yu, and imagined it in the Gaotang dynasty. The whole courtyard is full of flowers. The cochlear horn has a false reputation and a small profit, so it means that it is very busy. Everything is decided in advance, who is weak and who is strong. While I'm still young, let me go and let some of my kids go wild. In 100 years, the Pingists were intoxicated 36,000 times. Thinking. How much can we do? Worry about the wind and rain, half of them hinder each other, so why bother talking about short stories and long stories to the death? Fortunately, the breeze is bright and the moon is bright, the moss is spreading and the clouds are high. The south of the Yangtze River is good, 1,000 bells of fine wine, and a song that fills the courtyard. Man Ting Fong, excessive, because of this gift. Whoever survives today will be counted as the king and the Yangtze River. The awe-inspiring cypress trees are both frost-dry and suffering. I heard about the ancient county of Suzhou, on the Yun River and at the pine window of Zhuwu. On the south bank of the Yangtze River, if you don't send your son away, you would rather cross my country. The sparse rain has passed, the wind dances in the forest, and the smoke covers the clouds. I would like to hold this invitation to you and drink from the empty vat. Mr. Layman is old and in real dreams, he is relatively useless. The singing and dancing have stopped, the pedestrians have not yet risen, and the boat drums are already beating. The courtyard is full of fragrance, the water is slightly frozen and stays in the county for a long time. We traveled to Nanshan together on a dark day, and we talked about the old sighs, because they filled the courtyard with beautiful clouds. The old friend was surprised and looked haggard and old in green clothes. I am estranged from my own wild life and have different interests. What do you want me to do? I am running around in the world. The fleeting years are over, and we are sitting at the end of the road, holding each other's hands in the frozen stern of the boat. Outside Huaipu, there are green walls and empty rocks in ancient temples. Walking hand in hand in the forest, laughing and holding skewers. Don't go up to the end of the solitary peak, where you can linger and look at the sea of clouds. Where is my home? Because you asked me, I walked back and walked around my pine shirt. Shui Tiao Gutu. Huangzhou Kuaizai Pavilion presented to Zhang Shichuan. The setting sun embroidered the curtains, and the water under the pavilion reached the sky. Knowing that you are mine, the newly made windows are wet with blue and red. I remember that in the Pingshan Hall, I was sleeping in the misty rain in the south of the Yangtze River, and I was not alone. Recognize the drunken man's words, and know whether the mountains are beautiful or not. 1,000 hectares are all mirror pure and have green peaks. Suddenly the waves rose, and a white-headed leaf danced. You can laugh at Mr. Lantai, but you have not yet understood Zhuangsheng's natural sound. There are male and female in the right path. A little awe-inspiring spirit, 1,000 miles of joyful wind. Water tuning the song. On the day, go to the Mid-Autumn Festival, and do this song. His words are too sad, but they are harmonious. The intention is not to leave early as a warning. Comfort the cloud ears with the joy of retreating and following each other. He helped the sick and entered Shizhou. Yizhi is trapped in Xianmian, and his regrets are sent to Zhangzhou. As the clouds age, you need to plan early and get brown fur. Traveling thousands of miles away from my hometown, I often stay behind in good places. When I am drunk and singing, you are gentle. When I am drunk, you must help me. But wine can make you forget your worries. When Lu Xuanda was appointed, he lived in a high-rise building. Shui Tiao Gutu, Bingshan Mid-Autumn Festival, drinking happily until the end of the day, and getting drunk. This article is written because I am pregnant with a child. When will the bright moon come? Ask the sky for wine. I don't know what year it is today in the palace in the sky. I want to ride the wind back home, but I am afraid that it will be cold in the high places. Dance to figure out the shadow. How does it seem to be in the human world? Turn to Zhu Pavilion. Lo Chihu, light and sleepless. There should be no hatred. Why will things last forever when we say goodbye? People have joys and sorrows, separations and reunions, and the moon waxes and wanes. This is a difficult thing in ancient times. I hope that people will live forever and share the beauty of the moon thousands of miles apart. Shui Tiao Gutu. The public said, "This poem is the most beautiful, but it is not to listen to the harp, but to listen to the pipa." Yu Shenranzi. In the Jianan chapter, the husband's family who was good at playing the pipa begged for lyrics. I won't do it for a long time. Specially take out the words of retreat, summarize them a little, make them sound and rhythm, and leave them as they are. Go all out in one go and leave no trace behind for 1,000 miles. Looking back at dusk, the clouds are far away, and the flying catkins disturb the blue sky. Among all the birds, the truly colorful phoenix alone does not sing. Every step you take is dangerous, and every step you take is easy. There is wind and rain, but go all out in one go and leave no trace behind for 1,000 miles. Looking back at dusk, the clouds are far away, and the flying catkins disturb the blue sky. Among all the birds, the truly colorful phoenix alone does not sing. Every step you take is dangerous, and every step you take is easy. There is wind and rain between Fancy's fingers. There is ice and charcoal in my intestines, and I cannot stand upright. I pushed my hands back and fell in love with you without tears. Manjianghong, meet Dongpa in Qian. No wonder he enjoys his leisure time. There is ice and charcoal in my intestines, and I cannot stand upright. I pushed my hands back and fell in love with you without tears. Manjianghong, meet Dongpa in Qian. No wonder he enjoys his leisure time. I asked about it and said, I will marry the Liu family again and leave the official position in 3 days. I am not worried, but I am worried about the Liu family and cannot forget about advancing or retreating. I am happy to share my sorrows, as if I were rich and noble, would benefit from this. He ordered his servants to sing children's songs and made them all over the river. The inadequacy of sighing is the next best thing to rhyme. It's like Baoyuan carrying virtue and glory, but the basket and ladle are not enough to clear the joy. Gradually, the brilliance shines on the steps of the courtyard, and the orchid and jade are born. In the deep dream, the song of the heart is conveyed. Where the intestines are broken, it is up to him to continue. Does Wenjun's son-in-law know? He laughs at your humiliation. Don't you see Zhou Nange singing in Hangguang? The Master of Heaven teaches you to leave the tree. Don't you see Zhou Nange singing in Hangguang? The Master of Heaven teaches you to leave the tree. Then the Prime Minister held the old sheen in his left hand and settled in the clouds. The river is red, from the west of Jianghan, under the high buildings, the grapes are deep green. Still bring it with you. Mini cloud waves, Jinjiang spring scenery. You are the beloved guardian of Nanshan, and I am a returning guest who misses you outside the sword. How can you be ruthless about this place and its scenery? Say it diligently. Jiang Biao's biography, please stop reading. Crazy Virgin, what a pity. The empty island is deserted to the parrots and reed flowers. Not only did the scholars laugh at the dispute, Chao Gong and Huang Zhu were both confused. I would like to envoy you to write poems about banishing immortals and chase Huang He. Manjianghong, Tobu Kairyu Whitei. In Dongwu Nancheng, the new embankment is solid and the ripples are beginning to overflow. Hidden all over, there are long forests and high mountains, lying on red piles and green piles. The remaining flowers on the branches have been blown away, and I look for you toward the head of the river. Ask forward, how much spring there is, one of 3. When will the official affairs be completed? Outside the wind and rain, there are not many days. The Prime Minister flooded the Tsushui River, and the whole city fought for it. Don't you see that Lanting is doing a wedding ceremony, and everyone sitting there is very elegant? When will the official affairs be completed? Outside the wind and rain, there are not many days. The Prime Minister flooded the Tsushui River, and the whole city fought for it. Don't you see that Lanting is doing a wedding ceremony, and everyone sitting there is very elegant? Up to now, the mountains and shades are covered with bamboos, but there are no traces of them. The river is red, written by Huizi, the clear water flows eastward, the sorrowful eyes are broken, and the lonely sail is bright and extinguished. The official travel place, green mountains and white waves, thousands of folds. The river is red, written by Huizi, the clear water flows eastward, the sorrowful eyes are broken, and the lonely sail is bright and extinguished. The official travel place, green mountains and white waves, thousands of folds. Living up to Lin Xiao's wishes, I listen to the desolate night rain on my bed. Hate this life, grow up in separation, add splendor to your hair. I whine, beside the yellow river. Infinite things, let's start from the beginning. Seeing each other seems like yesterday, many years ago. Bitter tears remain on the old marks on the clothes, and the joy between the eyebrows adds yellow. Then I went with you to look for the remaining spring on the pond, with flowers like snow. Manjianghong, send one Ongua to return to the court on the 13th day of the first lunar month. If he's in the kindness of heaven, it is understandable that it is affectionate to welcome guests. Spring is warm and morning is coming. It's still snowing lightly. When you come to you to form a ribbon in the spring, should return to Danquan Stone. Afraid of strange times, drunkenness and lovesickness, separated by clouds and mountains. All things in this world are difficult to deal with. Even if a person is healthy, his head should be white. Why should I get drunk? This joy is hard to find. I want to express my regret to the beautiful woman, but my tears have already condensed on my eyelashes. But when Mo Qian and Xian Yan came, the news was gone. Rejoice in returning to the court, I dreamed that the boat was floating on the swamp. Snow waves crossed the river and thousands of hectares of white were white. When I wake up, my eyes are full of Mount Lu, with countless green walls leaning against the sky. It's a real dream. Ran Gong's poem goes like this. When will the boat shake the lake and settle down? My eyes will be full of Mount Lu and I will feel strange. Snow waves shake the sky, and thousands of hectares of white are white. When I wake up, my eyes are full of Mount Lu, with countless green walls leaning against the sky. This growth continues. I am both a guest from the south of the Yangtze River with you. When I was swimming in my dream, I woke up to enjoy the scenery, and I was throwing shuttles together. Tomorrow the west wind will still hang the seats. Singing my new lyrics brings tears to my eyes. After Ling Jun left, the mountains of Chu were empty, and the orchids in Fengyang were colorless. You are as talented as a dream. Wuling is located in West Antarctica. Zhuji Ci, don't sing new songs. Who calls the past and the present separate? Nian Nugio, chibi nostalgic, the great river goes eastward, and the waves are gone, and the romantic figures of the ages are gone. To the west of the fort, there is humanity in Zhou Lang of the Three Kingdoms at Chibi. The rocks penetrated the sky. The stormy waves hit the shore and rolled up thousands of piles of snow. The country is picturesque, and there are so many heroes at one time. I think back to Gong Jin's time, when Xiao Qiao was getting married for the first time, and she looked majestic and handsome. Feather fans and silk scarves, while talking and laughing, the prisoners were reduced to ashes. My motherland wanders in my mind, I should laugh at my passion, and I will be born early. Life is like a dream, a statue returns to the moon. Flowers in the rain, appreciation. In September, 1,000 leaves suddenly bloomed. In the rain, there was a special place for wine, so I made it. Stay for me. The Qingming festival has passed, and the remaining red is nowhere to be seen. I shed tears in front of you. Autumn is getting late, what's the matter with a branch, it remains to me. Gao Hui chatted and chased the short scene, and Qing Shang had no time to leave her beauty. It's better to keep it. Very spring, good luck to next year. Qingyuan Chun, the lights in the lonely hall are green, the chicken number in the wild shop is bright, and the travel pillow is full of dreams. Very spring, good luck to next year. Qingyuan Chun, the lights in the lonely hall are green, the chicken number in the wild shop is bright, and the travel pillow is full of dreams. Labor and life are limited, like the district chief Xian Huan. After chanting slightly, Ping Zheng'an was speechless, filled with memories of the past. At that time, we were visiting Chang'an together. He is like a young man who first arrived from the 2 continents. There are thousands of words on the pen and thousands of volumes in the mind. To Jun Yao and Shun, why is this so difficult? When I use it to give up, my actions are hidden in me. Why not just sit back and watch? He is tall and strong, but he is still old and has a high reputation. Persuading the gold ship. Named after He Yun's own tune. Ruthless flowing water and passionate guests. Advise me as if I had known you before. The cup is in hand and I say goodbye. This justice is rare. On the curved pool, the year and month, named after He Yun's own tune. Ruthless flowing water and passionate guests. Advise me as if I had known you before. The cup is in hand and I say goodbye. This justice is rare. On the curved pool, the year and month are written in small characters. Also repairing bamboos in the lush forest, like the Yonghe festival. The delicate hands are like frost and snow. Laughing and planting autumn flowers. Don't blame me for singing. It's still a gentle farewell. Soar here and admire the Jade Hall and the Golden Tower. If you want to know how old you will be again, you should have beautiful hair. A bunch of flowers, this year's spring is light and waxy. The ice and snow break the spring beauty. There is a letter in the east wind, no one can see it, and there is a hint of light and lace in the willows. The cold night is long. The quilt is easy to warm, and the bells and drums are getting clearer and rounder. On the first day of the morning, half of the mountains are contained. The pavilion is lightly smoked. Visitors will make plans to find fragrance, and the little peaches and apricots should have already competed for the first place. He is sick and has little emotion, and he is relaxed and carefree. Only love sleeps high. Magnolia flower order, Ci Ogong Westlake rhyme. The remaining frost has lost its length and width. Listen to the gurgling sound and clear your throat. A beautiful woman is still singing a drunkard's words, and 43 years is like being wiped by electricity. The autumn dew on the grass is slippery. 35 returns 28. He and you are both Sherwin people, but body of Westlake is the only one. Magnolia flower order, Sima Zhongyu Yun. I know that your immortal bones are free from cold and heat. We meet again at dusk after 1,000 years. Therefore, I would like to say something else to annoy the beautiful woman, but I want to watch the rain on the pear branches. The fallen flowers have been driven back to the wind. Huaben Wuxinying complained privately. On the way home from the Ming Dynasty, I went down to the west of the pond, and there was no place where the orioles were singing and the flowers were falling. Magnolia flower order, Suzuku smells the rain at night, Jiziyu, Uncle Kai. It rains on the leaves of the phoenix tree at midnight. On the way home from the Ming Dynasty, I went down to the west of the pond, and there was no place where the orioles were singing and the flowers were falling. Magnolia flower order, Suzuku smells the rain at night, Jiziyu, Uncle Kai. It rains on the leaves of the phoenix tree at midnight. The soul in the dream is nowhere to be found. The cool night pillow tells me about autumn, and I can hear the cold crickets urging me to wake up. There is always a path in the dream. Still drunkenly singing and dancing in Jiangting. There must be someone in front of you to ask your thoughts and thoughts to say goodbye. Shijiangyu, 2 poems by Zhenjue appreciating Ruixiang. The young master's eyesight is dazzled, but I can see through my nose first. The scarf is drifting in the Daphne breeze. The spring dream of banished immortals was awakened. Jade pistol in Huda Temple. The back of Penglai Palace is red. This flower is clearer and more slender. Whose heart is the wine? Shijiangyu, sitting as a guest and repeated rhyme. There are several songs in Julan in the small courtyard, and 3 links with painted drums in the heavy city. Watch the moonlight turn into bright wind. Go back to the fragrant clouds and dream. The green sleeves are white, and the soap. Watch the moonlight turn into bright wind. Go back to the fragrant clouds and dream. The green sleeves are white, and the soap is half inserted in red. The lanterns are scattered in the wine garden. Punch lines fly by the minute. Shijiangyue. Then use the previous rhyme to play Chao Zifang. I blame this flower branch for complaining and weeping, and ask you for your famous poem. The grass and trees are used to record Wu Feng. The subsequent phase is like a cloud in a dream. The sleeve of the pen is stained with drunken ink, and the flower surface is red with shame. Knowing you is because of love. Afraid of seeing this flower stir up. Shijiangyu, I heard that if you have 2 phoenix belts in your hands, you might as well wear a single scarlet gauze. The night fragrance is known to be burned with that person. Looking sadly at the mist curling up in the water. The clouds on the temples are green in front of the wind, and the jade face is red in the drunkenness. Don't spend your poor night in vain. The moon works with beautiful women. Shijiang moon, Chongjiu. It is drizzling on top of the building. There are many flat lakes outside the river. At that time, there was a horse show in Dongshu. Today is desolate in Nanpu. Don't regret that the yellow flowers have not yet been vomited. Let's teach Hongfen to support each other. There is no need to look at dogwood in the wine stall. Admire the present and past of the world. Shijiangyu, TCI. Longbao is the best product this year, and the valley curtain has been treasured since ancient times. Shui is Shuangjing powder immortal. The Miao people came from Beiyuan. The soup is plump and white, and the floating milk is light and round. Who dares to be more beautiful in the world? Get the red window noodles. Shijiang moon, farewell, the dream has gone with the flowing water, and the tear towel is still like a fragrant spring. Xiangru is still the immortal. The person is in Yaotai Langyuan. The flower mist lingers in the wind. The song beads are clear and round when dripping water. Mo Mice new work is very beautiful. Instant noodles as soon as you return home. Shijiang moon, the world is a big dream, and there are several cool autumns in life. At night, the wind leaves are already singing. Look at the brows and temples. I am often worried about the lack of guests when I drink cheap wine, and the bright moon is obscured by clouds. Who can share the lonely time with me during the Mid-Autumn Festival? He looked northward sadly. Shijiang Yu, sending money to be made. Don't lament that the plains are falling, and you should go to Lu Chichi. Let me remember your youth. Don't lament that the plains are falling, and you should go to Lu Chichi. Let me remember your youth. You must believe that life is like mail. Thousands of white hairs are sent to each other, and 100 deep cups are punished. Why use wine as a pool for swimming? I am drunk with virtue. Shijiang moon, plum blossom, the jade bones are worried about the miasma, and the ice posture has its own fairy wind. I am drunk with virtue. Shijiang moon, plum blossom, the jade bones are worried about the miasma, and the ice posture has its own fairy wind. When Hai Xian was sent to explore Fong Kong. Lipstick doesn't fade after makeup washes off. The high sentiment has chased the dawn sky. Don't dream about pear blossoms. Shijiang moon, I lay down drunk with my arms bent for a little rest. When I wake up, I already know. The mountains are lush, and the flowing water is sonorous. It seems to be something otherworldly. This sentence is written on the bridge pillar. Xia's saddle is resting on the green poplar bridge. Do you heard a spring dawn? Shijiang Yu, Pingshan Hall. 3 times after passing under the Pingshan Hall, Banqing heard the sound of a snap of his fingers. I haven't seen the old immortal in 10. Xia's saddle is resting on the green poplar bridge. Do you heard a spring dawn? Shijiang Yu, Pingshan Hall. 3 times after passing under the Pingshan Hall, Banqing heard the sound of a snap of his fingers. I haven't seen the old immortal in 10 years. Dragons and snakes were flying on the wall. If you want to pay tribute to the governor, you still sing the spring breeze of the willows. Don't say that everything will turn around in vain. It's all a dream until I turn around. Shijiang Yu, farewell. Last night the boat went to Jinko, and today the horse leader is in Chang'an. What is the old official and the new official? There is only Hushan Koan. This scene has changed several times in 100 years, and it is difficult to describe it. Make your talent make waves. And judge new poems. Linjiang Ferry. Thought he was a stranger. In the next 10 years, he built a house in the north of Huanggang and named himself Jing'an Jusher. Make this note. Who knew that on Bashir Road would see Luo Chenghua? The jade pistils are falling on the face, and the spring sun is setting at the beginning of the world. I haven't seen Ziyun Che in 10 years. The new cave in Longxiu is filled with lead cauldrons to raise cinnabar. Linjiangxian. Gift. The verses are used to sharpen my bluntness, but the blunt all does not understand and produces a gleam. Huanyan relieves my frost. The wine garden brings clear dreams and sleep, and spring grass fills the pond. I should remember the old man at the foot of the snow hall. In the past, we gathered rue together. After becoming famous, he returned home early. When I got back to the car, I saw 1,000 chapters in the tree. Linjiang Immortal, Xin Wei left Hang Jiruan, don't forget Zhang by Bing Dao. I advise Zhang to go back, as I have never forgotten my love. The dusty mind disappears and the mind becomes peaceful. Jiangnan and Saibei, there is no place to go. Zhu Dogung Sang is really over the top. Please let me tell you Nan Rong. I would like to hear that Wuwei reports a good harvest. If the king asks, it is up to the king to tie his stockings. Linjiang Ferry, winter day. Since ancient times, we have always had a day off, so why not sing softly? The sky falls and the clouds return to spring. The person sitting in the middle is half drunk, and the snow will be deep outside the curtain. After hearing that the branch office was crazy about the censor, Ziyun had no way to pursue it. The wind and rain are cold and cold. When I asked the prison chief about his anger, he was suddenly frightened when he saw the crane. Linjiangxian, send to Wang Yan. I have forgotten about Chengdu for 10 years, because you have to think about it. With the clear tears shed on the Yangtze River. Therefore, we know the beauty of the mountain, but the solitary guest feels desolate. Sit down and don't worry that you haven't seen me yet. You will be heartbroken when you come back. Diligent and diligent. This body is like a passing house. Where is my hometown? Linjiang Ferry, who can respectfully buy? The thatched cottage points to the east of the Yangtze River. The bead curtain is 10 miles away and the fragrant wind rolls. Flowers bloom and fade, and there are thousands of separation and hatred. The light boat crossed the river and arrived overnight. For a moment, he laughed in surprise and fell into disgrace. The voice still has its own Wunong. At the end of the night, facing the wine shop, I am still dreaming. Linjiang Ferry Spring has passed on the 90th. Where can I catch up with you if I am too busy? 1 part spring and 1 part sorrow. The rain turns the elm pods, and the wind turns the willow flowers. Mr. Langyuan must blame himself. The movement of the peaches is 1,000 years. I don't know how hard it is to seek in this world. Dong Wang is not restrained and is willing to stay as an envoy. Linjiang Immortal, Feng Shui Cave Work. The 4 major elements have always been everywhere, so there is no doubt about the Feng Shui here. Therefore, you should send me new poems. Fragrant flowers bloom in the valley, and cold algae dance in ripples. By having a relationship with Tamagawa, the gods may not miss each other. And send people home with flowing water. The sun is still setting on the top of the building, and the grass dew has stained my clothes. Linjiang Ferry 1 farewell to the capital and 3 changes to the fire, the world is over. Still smiling as a spring warmth. There is no wave in the ancient well, but there is Chiu Yun in it. The melancholy Gufan spread all night long. Farewell to the moonlight clouds. There is no need for green eyebrows in front of you. Life is like a journey against the odds, and I am also a traveler. Linjiang Immortal, who recovered from his illness and went to Wanghu Tower as a gift to Chief Xiang. Xiao when lost weight due to many illnesses. The gold belt hangs down from the waist. There is a faint fragrance floating upstairs at Wanghu. Playing with sleeves in the gentle spring breeze, and listening to the flute on a bright moonlit night. When you wake up from drinking and dream, you will always be clear, and your hidden bed will be infinitely more fashionable. The beautiful woman did not see Dong Jiarao. Wandering around the moon, spending the poor night in empty space. Linjiang Ferry, drinking at Dongpa at night makes me drunk again, and it feels like the third watch when I return. The boy's breath is thundering. No one knocks on the door, but leans on the stick and listens to the sound of the river. I always regret that this body is not mine. When will I forget Yingying? The wind is quiet at night and the grain is flat. The boat passed away from now on, and the river and sea left the rest of my life. Linjiang Ferry, it is freezing every night in winter. The bright moon in the painting hall invades the curtains. The blue vat shines brightly and cries sadly. The green vat is full of temptations, but the pink tears are still hanging down. Before she finished she hid her tears, and her singing was half sad. There should be no conflict between the two words of love. If you want to know where the heart is broken, dark dust flies on the beam. Yu Jia Ao, Jinling Heart Appreciating Pavilion presented Wang Sheng with a dragon painting. Wang guarded Jinling and moved to Nanjun in one day to take care of things. Throughout the ages, dragons and pandas have coexisted with tigers. From the place where the public rises and falls, the slight slanting wind blows the drizzle. Fragrant grass crossing. Jiangnan father left his father to live there. Ling Saiwu, a speeding car. The red Luan rides on the green Luan. But I was surprised that this continent is called Egret. Not my partner. He was about to fly away. Yujiao, send off to the Taiwan show Jiang Langzhong. The lights are out after seeing off the guests. The cold moonlight in the west building makes me dizzy. The tide will come tomorrow with no certainty. The tide is coming. Zhoheng Ferry is close to the important city. The river seems to know the hatred of being alone. The south wind relieves the beauty's anger. Don't learn to be light and sleepy for a long time. Send questions frequently. You must be loyal and trustworthy on the Qiantang River. Yu Jia Ao, Chinese Valentine's Day. Bright morning cows and river Han women. Yingying Linshui is speechless. Look across the blue clouds and the sunset. Nowhere to be found. Dreaming back to spring grass growing in Xuanpu. The birds disperse and the remaining flowers are like rain, and the apples of Tingzhou are old and fragrant. The bright moon shines affectionately on the house. But take it. Qin Guangchang sent people home. Yu Jia Ao, sending Zhang Yuandang to visit Qinzhou. Int, send Zhang Yuantang to visit Qinzhou. I know that you want to go to Qinchuan. The white horse soap mink cannot be kept. Looking back. There is no fog in the lonely city. The flowers will bloom like rain in Chang'an. Therefore, the willows in Guan are beginning to fly with catkins. Gradually, the knife in the boot is approaching the road. Who is similar? Wang Wendu is on the romantic lap. Partridge Sky, this poem was written by Dongpa when he was banished to Huangzhou. The real version is hidden in the forest and his family is buried. The forest is broken, the mountain is bright, the bamboo is hidden behind the wall. A small pond filled with cicadas and decaying grass. I can see birds from time to time when I turn over the blank page, and the red sprouts in the water are fragrant and fragrant. Outside the village, next to the ancient city, the stick quinoa slowly turns to the setting sun. It rained at midnight last night, and it was cool all day long. Partridge sky. Chen Gongmi sent out his servant, Su Nyang, to sing purple jade flute music and persuade the old man to drink. The old man drank all he drank, because he was given this word. Chen Gongmi sent out his servant, Su Nyang, to sing purple jade flute music and persuade the old man to drink. The old man drank all he drank, because he was given this word. Laughing and twisting the red plum blossoms and green plum blossoms. Yangzhou is the most delicate place in 10 miles. I came to Qixi at night and saw him in person. The spirit is charming. The back eyes are charming, and the waist is dancing. Lu Lang lost his mind several times. When I wake up from the wine in the Ming dynasty, I will know where I am, the purple jade flute among the clouds with broken heart. Youth Tour. Dragon Boat Festival gift to Huang Shou, Su Junyu. The silver pond vermilion threshold and the dust waves. Round green lotus curls. The orchids are recommended for bathing, the calamus is used to make wine, and the weather is still mild. It's a good way to indulge in the festival, very wine. 1-minute song. The smoke of the prison grass is deep, and the people in the court are quiet, and there is no stingy banquet to swim through. Junior Tour, Runzhou. Last year, it was delivered. Outside Yuhangmen, Fei Shui was like a poplar. Spring is over this year, and the poplar flowers are like snow. Still haven't returned home. The wine-rolling curtain invites the bright moon, and the wind reveals the window screen. Just like Chang'e taking pity on the 2 swallows, they shine brightly and paint the beams slantingly. Ding Feng Bo. I thought that no one but the emperor could be this flower, so I pretended to be a poet. But looking down in the mist and rain, I can't help but feel sad. I advise you to stop complaining. I also asked the former deputy envoy Quang. Next year. Who will come when the flowers bloom? The storm settled, and then the weather cleared up. Pretend to make this word. The top of the mountain is shining slantingly but welcomes each other. Looking back at the place where I have always been cool. Go back. There is no rain or shine. Nan Gezi, reuse the previous rhyme. Bring wine to wash away the rain, and sleep in your clothes at night. I don't know that the bells and drums announce the dawn. In the dream, butterflies appeared, and I felt light. All your talents have been exhausted when you grow old, and your plans to return have not yet come true. Asking for fields and asking for help, laughing at heroes. I don't know that the bells and drums announce the dawn. In the dream, butterflies appeared, and I felt light. All your talents have been exhausted when you grow old, and your plans to return have not yet come true. Asking for fields and asking for help, laughing at heroes. I love the sandy road by the lake and walk without mud. Nan Gezi, late spring, the sun is thinning, the flowers are blooming, the wind is gentle and the wheat waves are gentle. A light rain comes at night and washes the countryside. It's a good spring and it's almost Qingming festival. The fire for frying tea has been changed, but it is still mixed into porridge. When you are high, there will be more than enough purity. This music is soundless, tasteless, and most difficult to name. Nan Gezi, watching the lake tide on August 18th. Couples riding on the sea, the calyx of the immortal is green. Ascension Yuan does not use cinnabar. Live where the tide comes from, far away from the horizon. The thunder rolls across the country, and the clouds turn over the sea like home. You can sit still and fiddle with your piano teeth. Write the remaining sound of your return and the praise of Narcissus. Nan Gezi, reuse the previous rhyme. The Mid-Autumn Festival is passing by, and the hair on the temples is fluttering, embodying the world in a dust of sand. Laugh and watch the tides come and go and end your life. Alchemist Sanshan Road, Fisherman Iye's house. If I had known I was born with 2 teeth. A good companion for a young man riding a whale, and a great compliment. Nan Gezi, Datong was stunned. Dompa composed long and short sentences and asked prostitutes to sing them. I'd like to lend you my clapboard and door hammer. I am also playing tricks on occasion, so don't be suspicious. The girl from the stream stole glances, but the mountain monk didn't blink. But I am worried that Maitreya will be born late. I haven't seen my wife since I was a teenager. Nan Gezi, Bi runs ho su zhongtu. If you want to hold the hand of the river beam, you will be promoted to Yudentang. The people in the wine shop dispersed and the moon invaded the corridor. The travelers from the north will return in the Ming dynasty, and the geese will fly to the south. Slim and tall Mingyu. The romantic Jing Jizhuang. They dispersed to Shuiyun Township for a while. There are only fallen flowers and fragrant grass, and broken hearts. Nan Gezi, written by Huzhou, the rain in the mountains passed by, and the creeks and bridges were clear. The secluded pavilion in the small garden is pillowed on Pingting. Outside the door, the moonlight is like water, and colorful boats are flowing. The frost flowers on the sweet potato bank are all gone, and the snow in the rivers and lakes is flat. The 2 mountains point to Heimenking in the distance. Looking back to where the water clouds are, I look for an isolated city. Nan Gezi, late spring. The search for spring on the purple road is gone, and the world of mortals is coming. Everyone knows how to see the flower return. Only a new pomegranate pistil and a branch were seen blooming. The ice mat is piled into a bun with clouds, and the golden statue is filled with jade grains. Luin Qingzi urges each other. Leave 1,000 red scarves and illuminate the pool platform. Nanjizi, drinking in Huaimin Pavilion on the 8th day of Laba in Huangzhou, after Wei Huiyuanshuan, Wei Ping was a foreign sage. Playing the sheng can only be played in Go Mountain. I will drive Kailwan back leisurely and take advantage of the new year. Burning incense in the pavilion is warm, and bathing in the Buddha's heaven is light and cold. He was drunk in front of the painting hall. Don't forget the haggard old friend and the old riverside. Nan Gezi, feelings. Laughter is afraid of roses, walking is worried about treasures and stiffness. The beauty is in the west chamber as promised, but she is afraid of getting lost in the dark and recognizing the lingering fragrance. The midnight wind blows through the curtains, and the 3rd watch of the moon comes to bed. Laughter is afraid of roses, walking is worried about treasures and stiffness. The beauty is in the west chamber as promised, but she is afraid of getting lost in the dark and recognizing the lingering fragrance. The midnight wind blows through the curtains, and the third watch of the moon comes to bed. The lines are like water and jade, and the skin is cool. What things are left behind when I return with you? Nan Gezi, feelings of the past, two since in on someone in on the past, in on the past. My eyebrows haven't bloomed in half a year. The bright moon, good breeze and leisurely place are just guessing. The spring rain melts away the remaining frost, and the warm wind turns to cold gray. Who is this song for? Save the last beat of the song and wait for you to come. Nan Gezi, Zhou Yu, the governor of Chu, came out with a dancing servant girl, so he composed two songs as a gift. Cyan and double bun, cloud and small scarf. Light red face and small waist. The stacking of drums suddenly stimulates the flowers to beat and the spirit of fighting. The sky is wide and the light red rests, and the wind is gentle about Lu Chun. Peng Shan's talent is the freshest. It is better than having 1,000 pieces of brocade wrapped around one's head to hide treasures together. Nan Gezi, same as above, amber wears a waist pendant, and dragon incense goes into the scarf. Only Fian should be the predecessor. Watch the slender hands peeling green onions and dance with concentration. The catkins are turning in the wind, and the plum blossoms are spring in the snow. Mandarin ducks and jade are competing for the new. But after Zhou Lang took a look, he was better than Zhuzhen. Good things are near, Huangzhou sent Junxian. The red powder emo sad. It's been half a year since we parted. Looking down the slope of Shuatong, the old farmer is miserable. Next year the spring water will be full of peach blossoms, and boats will float on the willow bank. From then on, the whole city was filled with singing, and Huangzhou was dying to watch. Good things come soon. On the lake, when it rains and clears on the lake, the autumn water is half-poled and has begun to subside. The Zhujing looks down at the cold mirror, illuminating the fading face and beautiful hair. When I was drunk, the white silk scarf blew down, and the stream breeze rippled with the moon. Returning in a small boat. Let the smoke wave drift. Magpie Bridge immortal, Chenlingjiu on Chinese Valentine's Day. From Chenlingjiu the sound of the phoenix flute breaks through the bright moon, and when people raise their hands to thank, they are about to leave. Guests have been offended, the Milky Way is slightly swaying, and there are still winds, seas, and rain. Meeting and getting drunk is the front edge. The wind and rain have dispersed and drifted away. Magpie Bridge immortal, Qixi Festival and Su Jianyun, go back on the chariot. Where is Chengdu? Thousands of miles of rivers and rivers. Each of you will write a poem and leave it to the weaver girl and the Yuanyang machine. To rewrite the old songs with new rhymes, we must trust our partner Tian Fong. There is no place in life without fun. Look at Qiqiao and Zhu Lu Kai Fong. Looking to the south of the Yangtze River, late spring. Spring is old, when will spring clothes be ready? The waves in the meandering water are low, the banana leaves are steady, and the dancing wind is soft and light. Singing and singing brings peace. A light rain passed. Wherever there is no urging for plowing. 100 tongues are speechless, all the peaches and plums are gone, and the geese are singing deep in the Jia forest. Spring color belongs to turnip. Looking to the south of the Yangtze River, transcendent stage work. The spring is not old yet. The wind is gentle and the willows are slanting. Try to look up from the transcendent platform, half a ditch of spring water and a city full of flowers. Thousands of homes are covered in mist and rain. After a cold meal, I sobered up but complained. Stop thinking about old friends and homeland, and try new tea with new fire. Poetry and wine take advantage of the youth. Bu Swansea, feeling old. Guests from Shu came to Jiangnan and remembered Wushan for a long time. The romance between Bu Swansea, feeling old. Guests from Shu came to Jiangnan and remembered Wushan for a long time. The romance between Wu and Shu has been the same since ancient times, so you should go back early. I also borrowed grass from the West Lake with the people from last year. Mo Shizuan came forward and took a closer look. He must have an old face. The fortune teller, it seems like he is eating fireworks and cannibalism. Unless you have thousands of books in your mind and no trace of vulgarity in your writing, who can achieve this? The missing moon hangs on the sparse-tongued trees, and the missing moon makes people still at first. Sometimes I see lonely people coming and going alone, misty and solitary shadows. I was startled but turned around. No one could forgive me for my hatred. I picked up all the cold branches and refused to live on them, and the maples fell cold in Wujiang River. Roy Partridge, watching the tide, the little red flag in the shadow of the blue mountain. I am a wanderer from the south of the Yangtze River. They clapped their hands to laugh at the drunkenness of Shanjian, and sang the poems of Lang Pa in unison. The sails of Xixing Ferry are beginning to fall. The sun is still up on the top of Yupu Mountain. I want to send you the bottom tune of Chaoga, but I also sing Shijun's poem in front of you. 10 beats, late autumn, the white wine is in bloom for the 9th time, and the yellow flowers have passed the double 9th festival. Wandering outside and around is like a dream, but inside there is nothing but hometown. The sun and moon are longer on the east slope. Jade powder is boiled into tea milk, and golden sage is newly pounded to smell like orange. The frost-dyed mustache supports the green sleeves. A madman cannot understand madness. A crazy husband gets even crazier as he gets older. Qingpingle, Autumn Words. Qinghuai Zhuiyu. More on the west bank of the Yangtze River. When the red leaves arrive, the yellow leaves become messy. Frost entered the palace of King Liang. Where can I carry a pot in Shuyuan? I stopped to visit the ancient times and hesitated. The legacy of the twin temples still exists, but there should be no proud officials in the lacquer garden. Zhaojuan resentment, farewell. Who did the third work of Huan Yi? The green window breaks the dream. New moon and sad smoke. The sky is full of rivers. Want to go but still don't want to go. Tomorrow the sun will fall. Flying catkins send the boat off. Water flows eastward. The Qi family, this word always refers to the meaning, talking about King Mu of Zhou's visit to the Queen Mother of the West, Jade Turtle Mountain. Donghuang's spirit is comparable to the mountains. Jiangke is a mountainous place, and the Jade House is deep and far away, leaning against the mist. Quiet. Ji Shaoran. Jinsheng is thousands of miles away from Chanwan. At that time, Mu Man was on a hunting tour, and Suehua went to the west of the sea. The wind is clear and clear. The whale waves are as far as the eye can see, and the momentum is floating and covering the surrounding area. It's a beautiful day, the Xian garden is quiet, and the green grass is lush. Dispute the embroidery and fragrance. The Luan and the chariot are stationary, and the 8 circuses are played in Jitian. The Yao pond is nearby, the painting building is faint, and the kingfishers are dancing. A feast of splendor. Intermittent crisp pipes and strings. Just like the emperor's heaven. She has a childlike face with bright teeth, green hair and square pupils, and is round, calm and elegant. Pour all the wine from the cheong pot and offer the golden cauldron of medicine to strengthen the spring year. The ethereal flying bird dances wonderfully, and the fate is fulfilled. The music lingers drunkenly. The sound of clouds rhymes with cold springs. The song is flowing, the moon is slanting and the river is low. Gradually the sky becomes brighter and lighter in color. Moving back to thinking, looking back on the world. Bad roaming. The jade chariot returns eastward. The jade chariot returns eastward. The apricot blossoms are blowing in the wind, and the whip is ringing for miles. Looking at Chang'an Road, there is a faint willow color and green spots of spring. Drunk Penglai, Chongjiu Shang Jun Jun. Laughing a dream, 3 years of traveling. Return to Chongjiu. His hair is rustling, and he is scratching his head at the deserted garden. Lai is affectionate, likes to drink and has nothing to do, just like the ancients who were virtuous and wise. Climb high year by year and lose your hat year after year, but the beauty remains the same. This meeting should be very drunk. Still looking at the purple chrysanthemums and dogwoods, smell them carefully. The frosty wind shakes down, and there are 2 willows planted by hands. Next year and this morning, I will visit the west and visit the mouth of the Yangtze River. Meeting with the people of the state, drinking the love left by the public, the river is full of mellow wine. Congratulations to the bridegroom, Xia Jing, the swallows fly into the mansion. Quiet and deserted, the shade of the trees turns to noon, and the coolness of the evening brings a new bath. The raw silk and white round fan is made in the hand, and the fan hand looks like jade for a moment. Gradually, he becomes sleepy and sleeps alone, becoming more and more mature. Who comes outside the curtain to promote the embroidery household? It is a waste of time to teach others, and the dream breaks the Yaotai song. But again, the wind knocked against the bamboo. The pomegranate was half vomited and the red scarf was frowning. When all the floating flowers and waves are gone, I will be alone with you. Look carefully at the beautiful branch and take it. Thousands of hearts are like bundles. And I'm afraid of being frightened by the autumn wind. If I wait for you to come here, I can't bear to touch the wine in front of the flowers. A total of pink tears, 2 rustles. Dongxian Song, Ode to Willows, the end of the Yangtze River. After the early plum blossoms bloom. Share the new year and weeping willows. She has a slim waist and has her own style, and her body is still elegant and graceful. By the side of Yang Fengfang, there was no one at all, except for the golden threads that made the day clear. In case of broken heart, when the catkins are flying, the green leaves become cloudy, and there is nothing to do, and 10% of the body becomes emaciated. No wonder, when the east wind chases you, it blows away any spring wrinkles between your brows. Dongxiange, enter the palace of Meng Chang, Lord of Shu. One day when it was very hot, Lord Shu and Mrs. Huarue got up to escape the summer heat at night and wrote a poem on the Maha Pond. Zhu can remember it. 40 years have passed since Zhu died, and people do not know this word. But remember the first two sentences. It's enough to spend your spare time searching for food, but it's enough to know how to sing the songs of immortals. The hairpin on the pillow is messy and the temples are messy. I stood up and held my hands together, the courtyard was silent, and I saw sparse stars crossing the river from time to time. How is the night? It's already the third watch, the golden waves are light and the jade rope is turning low. But when will the west wind come? I don't know how to do it, and I secretly changed it in the passing years. Bashan Ganzhou, sending Shen Liazi, the sentimental wind and the tide coming from thousands of miles away send the tide back ruthlessly. Ask about the slanting light on the Qiantang River and Shishing Puku. There is no need to think about the present and the past, and look down on the mistakes of the past. Who is like Dongpa, who is old and has lost his memory? Remember the west bank of the West Lake, the beauty of the Dusk Mountain, the green sky and the misty sky. Even if poets get along with each other, they are just like me and you. In the same year of his appointment, we will return to the east and return to the sea. I hope that Xiegong and Yizhi will not conflict with each other. On Shizhou Road, you should not look back to wet your clothes for me. Sanbu Raku, scenario, beauty is like the moon. At first sight, the clouds cover the dusk, and the beauty becomes even more beautiful. There should be no regrets, and the een and sunny days should be used safely. The tenderness is so empty that it only becomes sorrow. When I get out of bed, I am too lazy to swallow before I say anything. If you don't come for a few days, all the red leaves in the garden will fall. Now that I am strong enough to drink wine, I ask who is slowing down. 1 point of fragrant snow. What's the matter with scattering flowers but getting sick? Vimalakirti has no disease. But he lowered his eyebrows and didn't answer. Sing golden thread and complain. If you can afford it, break it. And cherish it, the young man has gray hair. Ruan Lang returns, early summer. Green locust trees and tall willow trees swallow new cicadas. Xuanfeng first entered the string. The water under the blue screen window was filled with smoke. The sound of chess frightened me into sleeping during the day. The light rain has passed, and the lotuses are turning. The pomegranate flowers are blooming. The delicate hand of the jade basin makes clear the spring. The pearls are broken but round. Ruan Langue, Mei Si, the faint fragrance floats in the moonlight dusk. There is a spring tree in front of the hall. Why does the east wind blow into the west? The children's house is often closed. The snowy skin is cold and the jade face is true. The cheek powder is not evenly distributed. I broke off the flowers and wanted to send them to the people in Lingtu. Sunset clouds in the south of the Yangtze River. Ruan Lang returns, composed at the Suzhou banquet. He visits Sutai 3 times a year. Qing Zhuanzhang is open. Beautiful women ask about each other, and misfortunes make guesses. Come back down here. Before the love is over, I urge you first. Life is so awesome. The peach and plum trees were lost in his youth. Lu Lang's temples faded. Jiang Shenxi is a poem about Sichuan. it still makes people want to see it. In the spring of Renshu in Yuanfeng, I plowed on the eastern slope and built a snow hall to live in. The hills behind Siwang Pavilion are in the south, and the tiny springs in Beishan Mountain are in the west, making me sigh with emotion. This is also a tour of Sichuan. The sound of a hidden spring on the west bank of the snow hall. The northern mountain slopes. The creek crosses. Looking south to the Pavilion Hill, Xing City stands tall and lonely. They are all located in Sichuan. I am old and I will leave my remaining years behind. Jiang Shenxi. Gushan Bamboo Pavilion, sent to ancient times. The green moth is shy and timid to look at. Cover the frost. Tears burst into tears. Let's do it all, collect the tears and sing Yangguan. The imperial city of Mandao is as far as the sky. It is easy to see the sky, but it is difficult to see you. The painting hall is newly constructed near Gushan. Kalankian. For whom? The catkins are flying and the flowers are falling, and the spring color belongs to next year. The painting hall is newly constructed near Gushan. Kalankian. For whom? The catkins are flying and the flowers are falling, and the spring color belongs to next year. I want to search for old memories in a small boat, but there is nowhere to ask. The water reaches the sky. Jiang Shenxi, Jiang Jing. It's raining and clearing up in Phoenix Mountain. The water and wind are clear. The sunset is bright. A hibiscus bloomed gracefully. A pair of egrets flew from nowhere, admiring Pingting if you wanted to. Suddenly I heard morning kites being played on the river. Suffering from love. Send someone to listen. The smoke gathers and the clouds gather. It is Xiangling as promised. I want to wait until the end of the song to ask for it, but no one can see it, and the peaks are green. Jiang Shenxi, word hunting. I am chatting like a teenager. The left lead is yellow. Right Qingsang. Brocade hats and mink fur coats, thousands of cavalry rolling around Pinggang. In order to repay Qingsheng, he followed the prefect, shot tigers himself, and watched Sun Lang. The wine is in full swing and the chest is still open. A slight frost on the temples. So why not? In the cloud of holding the knot, when will Feng Tang be dispatched? He can hold the eagle bow like the full moon, look northwest, and shoot at the wolf. Jiang Shenxi, hate to say goodbye, the thoughts of wandering in the world are endless. Now we meet. But in a hurry. The hand of a beautiful woman is destroyed, and the tears are broken and the red color is broken. To ask how much of the east wind is left, even if spring is here, who will it be with? The water in Sui Dike melted in March. Return to Hong. Go to Wuzhong. Looking back at Pengcheng, Qingxi, and Huaidong. Send me 1,000 tears of lovesickness, but they cannot be shed. Chu Jiangdong. Jiang Shenxi, winter scene. It was cold again before we met. To the front. Cherish the passing years. The wind blows tightly from the pavilion, and the ice freezes into round teardrops. The snow will stay with you. From now on, I will have less happiness. Turn around and look back down the mountain. The road is long. Jade flowers turn. The silver sea is wide and bright. Where is the transcendence? I don't know if I miss you, my old friend. I carry my green sleeves and lean against the Zhulan. Jiang Shenxi. The heavy snow is pregnant with the envoy Zhu Kongshu, and he also knows that the envoy misses me, so I send it to him as the son of Jiang Shen. It is still raining thinly at dusk. Dawn opens the curtain. Want flat eaves. The river is wide and the sky is low. There is no place to recognize the green curtain. Who can accompany me when I sit alone in the cold and groan? I wipe my sick eyes and twist my waning beard. It makes you drunk and tired of leaving guests. Crystal salt. Sweet for whom? Holding plum blossoms in hand, I look eastward and recall Tao Qian. The snow is like old people and everyone is like snow, although they are cute. Some people think so. The son of Jiang. Chu, the best task is never the sciences. The spring breeze from 10 miles away looks like it, reflecting the slanting sun and staining the embroidered curtains. Return the sentimental good deeds to you. Min Xian is a widower. Wipe Yu Chen. The bright moon is over the river, and the fragrance is misting the clouds. The flowers on the street are blooming and spring is over, and I can hear old songs. Break the beauty. Jiang Shenxi, dream recorded on the night of the 20th day of the first lunar month of Yi Mao. 10 years of life and death are uncertain. Without thinking. Unforgettable. Thousands of miles of lonely tomb, nowhere to say desolation. Even if we meet, we should not know each other. Our faces are covered with dust and our temples are like frost. The dream comes at night and suddenly returns home. Small Xian window. Dressing up. They looked at each other without words, only 1,000 lines of tears. It is expected that the broken heart will be broken every year on a bright moonlit night. Short Matsuoka. Dai Lian Hua, spring scene, the flowers faded to red, green and apricot. When swallows fly, green water surrounds people. There are few willow trees blowing on the branches. There is no grass anywhere in the world. There is a swing inside the wall and a road outside the wall. Pedestrians outside the wall, beautiful women smiling inside the wall. The laughter gradually disappeared and became quieter. Passionate but annoyed by ruthlessness. Dai Lianhua, beauty, a cherry fan suku. Don't love gold, just love people for a long time. I haven't finished learning to draw crows yet. The tip of the eyebrow has been wrinkled. I walked with butterflies in the West Garden. Flowers fall and flowers bloom, gradually losing love and losing weight. Is there anyone who can reunite after a broken mirror? All the green willow trees were broken off from Zhangtai. Dai Lianhua, sending spring. The spring looks more beautiful after the rain. As long as you leave people, the deep hatred will never be washed away. Beiga Mountain is surrounded by water on 3 sides. Biqiong wears a green snail bun. A piece of rural literature can travel thousands of miles. Ask me when I am, it's really a success story. Let's get drunk in this. A piece of rural literature can travel thousands of miles. Ask me when I am, it's really a success story. Let's get drunk in the spring with a white head. The east wind blows through thousands of tears. Dai Lianhua, farewell to Li Gongza in late spring. There is no wind and flowers are flowing freely. In the lonely garden, old willows and cherries pass by. The setting sun is sentimental and I still sit there. The mountains are green and the clouds are breaking. At the end of the road, the river turns back thousands of times. Mooring fishing village. The moon is dark and the light is alone. Rely on the flying soul to attract Chu. I miss you, you miss me. Dai Lianhua, Shan Yuan, Mizhou, 3 or 5 nights in the illuminated Chentang. The bright moon is like frost, illuminating people like a picture. The incense of Sheng is blown under the tent and the musk deer is spit out. A flavor like this should be priceless. The people in the lonely mountain city are old. Beating drums and playing flute, he suddenly entered the farming and mulberry community. The fire is cold, the lamp is thin and the frost is exposed. The faint snowy clouds hang down in the wild. Dai Lianhua, composed at the Wenan State Banquet on a winter night in Mizhou. Outside the curtain, the east wind blows with rain. The beauty behind the curtain is smiling like a bird. I deeply regret that the first month of this year is warm. Light, wine and color shake the gold cup. The drums and fish are not everywhere in Yang Laos. The dancing hairpin fades, the fragrance is soft due to sweat. Who is chanting ancient grudges tonight? The poems of the Qing dynasty were not born until the ice was born. Dai Lianhua, presented to Zhao Huizhi by the Lianshui army. Since ancient times, ripples have been the best place. Walking around Guohua, I want to compare with Wuxing. Where can the dust of tired travelers be washed away? The cold spring water under Zhenjuan Hall. The wine market in front of Zuhaiman. The tide comes in the middle of the night. A lone boat rises under the moon. Let's meet and get drunk. The two birds flew thousands of miles away. Dai Lianhua, reminiscences of love. The clouds and water lingered on the road back to the stream. Stacks of green hills surround the east side of the stream. The moon is white and the satin is standing in the air. Not even a trace of dust comes from. The old man she looked at each other and whispered to himself. The bottom line is trivial, and the hardships have to be eliminated by being an official. The moon is white and the satin is standing in the air. Not even a trace of dust comes from. The old man she looked at each other and whispered to himself. The bottom line is trivial, and the hardships have to be eliminated by being an official. Respecting wine does not mean having 100 acres of empty land. Come back and enjoy your leisure time. Picking mulberry seeds, meeting Sun Ju Yuan in Duojinglu, Renzhou. Passionate and sentimental but still sick, in Duojinglu. Meet over wine. Leshy turned around and smiled. Stop the cup and listen to the music of the pipa, playing it carefully and lightly. Drunk-faced Chuanrong. The sky above the river was illuminated slantingly with a touch of red. 1,000 years old, Huzhou temporarily comes to Shuzhou for Double Ninth Festival. Light frost invades the green. The hair is still fresh. Crown straight seam, scarf banner. The beauty took pity on my old age and gave me a jade hairpin with yellow chrysanthemums. The autumn dew is heavy, and the pearls fall off the sleeves with lingering fragrance. The person sitting on it is like jade. Flowers reflect flowers and slave meat. Bees and butterflies fly in confusion, chasing each other. Even if people are healthy next year, it will be difficult to return to this meeting. You must look carefully, the moon will come late and the silver candle will appear. Even if people are healthy next year, it will be difficult to return to this meeting. You must look carefully, the moon will come late and the silver candle will appear. Su Muja, changing immortal pictures, the summer cage is clear, and the wind relieves the stifling feeling. After the rain, it is clear, and the clothes are moistened secretly. Choose a fairy to escape the summer heat in one game. Smilingly pointing to the front, who is approaching Qingshao. A golden basin with jade bamboo shoots. The phoenix drives the Wan chariot, who dares to compete for the lead. Chang Wuxiwiansheng is the tightest. Even if there is green oil, it will reach the shut-on seal. Wish you happiness forever, it's time to say goodbye to Mengzhou. I went to Haizhou on November 15th and met with the prefect in Jingshu Tower. I wrote this poem to express my gratitude to the great source. Upstairs in Jingshu, the bright moon is like water. Good wine and clear songs can linger, and the moon follows people thousands of miles away. Don't come here 3 times, lonely and full, left out and drunk together. Rolling bead curtains, looking at the shadows sadly, we can't sleep together till dawn. Today I have a guest coming from Huaishang. I can tell you what you mean. With the Qinghuai River, it is clear that there are tears of lovesickness in the sea. Where are you now? The western wall has been cleared, and the night is full of dew and beauty. Look at this time. The dawn of the corridor should also be remembered secretly. Yong Yu Lu, I stayed in the Yanzi Tower at night, dreaming about Pan Pan, so I wrote this word. The bright moon is like frost, the wind is like water, and the clear scenery is infinite. Fish are jumping in Sugang, lotuses are pouring out. Lonely and unseen. The sound is like 3 drums, 1 leaf is sonorous, and the dark dreamy clouds are startled. The night is vast, and I am looking for nowhere again. I feel like I have been walking, lonely and unseen. The sound is like 3 drums, 1 leaf is sonorous, and the dark dreamy clouds are startled. The night is vast, and I am looking for nowhere again. I feel like I have been walking around the small garden. I am a tired guest at the end of the world, returning to the mountains, looking past my hometown. The swallow building is empty, where is the beauty? The swallow is locked in the empty building. The past and present are like dreams, never dreamed, but there are old joys and new resentments. At the same time, Yu Hao sighed at the night view of Huanglu. Xing Xiangzi, TCI. The feast ends. The joy is still strong. When the wine is late, the joy is endless. We all praise the gifts given by the king, and at the beginning we remove the titles of ministers. Look at the fragrant cakes, golden strands, dense clouds and dragons. The feast ends. The joy is still strong. When the wine is late, the joy is endless. We all praise the gifts given by the king, and at the beginning we remove the titles of ministers. Look at the fragrant cakes, golden strands, dense clouds and dragons. If you win a battle with water, you will defeat 1,000 bells. Feeling cool. Breeze in both armpits. Keep the red sleeves for now, but wear the sarong. The music and songs are played, the courtyard is quiet and a little calm. Xingxiangzi, meaning, Sanrui Qingming. 4 to 9 ministers. Ask the scholar, what is the disgrace and what is the honor? Gold leaves, 7 leaves, and beautiful mink tassels. There is no sweat in horse work, no gifts, no knowledge of the scriptures. Bu Si, Chengdu, Lonely King. Zhengzizhen and Uwatani Gongzhen. Cold and ashes are hot, and people are too important to others. Eliminate Zhu Qianxue. There is no thought, there is no name. Xing Xiangzi, narrating his feelings, the clear night is dust-free. The moonlight is like silver. When the wine is poured, it must be 10 minutes full. Famous and vain, vain and hard work. A horse is caught in a sigh, fire is caught in a stone, and a body is caught in a dream. Although we hold articles, who will kiss us when we open our mouths? And Tao Tao, happy and innocent. When will you go back and be a idler? To a piece of harp, a pot of wine, and a stream of clouds. Xing Xiangzi, Qiu Yu, the frosty wind last night. Enter Wudong first. There is no place to hide, and you can avoid losing your appearance. When I asked the public what was going on, he said nothing and the book was empty. But one time I was drunk, another time I was sick, and another time I was lazy. When I came to the court, time was like an arrow, as if I was speechless and wanted to hurt no one. Everything is given to 1,000 bells. Let the wine be white and the eyes will be dazzled, and the candles will be red. Xing Xiangzi, Dong Si, join hands with Jiangsuan. Plum snow floating skirt. There is no limit to love, and the soul is lost everywhere. The old friend disappeared. Old songs are heard again. Xiangwangu Tower, Gushan Temple, and Yangzhenmen. Wherever he goes, he writes thousands of poems, embroiders shirts, and brushes the red dust. Don't come here to remember me, I know who he is. There is the moon in the lake, willows by the river, and clouds over the long head. Xing Xiangzi, crossing Chili Beach, a boat is light as a leaf. The skulls were shocked. The water and sky are clear, the shadows are clear and the waves are flat. The fish turns over the algae, and the heron lights the smoke. Crossing the sandy stream is fast, the frost stream is cold, and the moon stream is bright. It is as heavy as a painting, and as curved as a screen. In those days, Su Laoyan Ling. The king and his ministers have a dream, and their reputations are now and in vain. But the distant mountains are long, the clouds and mountains are chaotic, and the mountains are green at dawn. Bodhisattva man, singing girl. The embroidered curtains are rolled up high and the whole city is beautiful. In front of the lamp, there is a glimmering and horizontal wave. White teeth make clear songs. Spring's sorrow enters the green moth. Stop complaining about the chaos. I've already suffered a heart attack. The remaining sound is clear and empty. The embroidered curtains are rolled up high and the whole city is beautiful. In front of the lamp, there is a glimmering and horizontal wave. White teeth make clear songs. Spring's sorrow enters the green moth. Stop complaining about the chaos. I've already suffered a heart attack. The remaining sound is clear and empty. A bunch of beads. The bodhisattva is pretty, the green gauze slightly reveals the slender jade. The vermilion lips gradually become warm and uneven. The tone becomes newer. The dragon's roar is clear to the bones. The night comes and I wake up from the wine. The bodhisattva is pretty, the green gauze slightly reveals the slender jade. The vermilion lips gradually become warm and uneven. The tone becomes newer. The dragon's roar is clear to the bones. The night comes and I wake up from the wine. But I feel frosty and cold. There is no frowning person. Rouge looks for old traces. Bodhisattvaman, West Lake, autumn wind and rain on the lake. It makes you want to go, but you still want to stay. Manliujan today. Ming dynasty will worry about killing people. The beautiful woman sheds 1,000 tears. Sprinkle on the long river water. No need to hold back the moths. Passers-by cried more. Bodhisattva man, hang prostitutes go to Sugao for new protection. The jade boy walks to Fu Kyub in the west. The cave sky is deserted and the autumn is bleak. No need for Su Feiqiong. The moon is bright in the sky above Yaotai. The fragrance condenses into the night banquet. Let Wei Lang read it. Don't go to Gusu. Boat trip to the 5 lakes. The Bodhisattva is pretty. God has mercy on the handsome and handsome Jin Wan. Therefore, the moon is full toward the Songjiang River. The clear scenery is flooded. From the king, it is autumn. All I have to do is drink. Let me ask Qin Yosho. The emperor's dream has been far away. When returning in the clear scenery is flooded. From the king, it is autumn. All I have to do is drink. Let me ask Qin Yosho. The emperor's dream has been far away. When returning in a hurry. Bodhisattva man, on the ancient mat. Huan is missing and the moon is setting in the southwest. Acacia breaks the pipa string. Tears on the pillow and dream in the soul. I feel my eyebrows are dizzy. There are candles and tears in the hall. The flute blows new water. Drunkards go east and west. You should think of Chen Meng Gong. The Bodhisattva is pretty, feeling old. Yusheng is not warmed by the red lips. Li Sheng's throat filled with sorrow. Regret for thousands of years. No one is left with kindness. The national wine of his country. Climbing withered willows with tears. Don't be short-term. Chang'an is as far as the sky. Bodhisattva man, crescent moon. The crescent moon hangs on the eaves of the painting. Before the lonely light is full, there will be a lack of sorrow. Recognize the jade curtain hook from afar. Tiansuan's dressing room. Beautiful women speak well. Don't want to seek novelty. This hatred should be known. May there be no separation. Bodhisattvaman, Qixi Festival. Feng Huixian Yun opened the fan. Late in the night, the moon falls and the stars turn around. The dream on the pillow is frightening. The rain eaves are sparse at dawn. Even though the encounter was hasty. It's hard to grow old if we live together forever. Never envy the world. Days in this world are like years. Bodhisattva man, you have a message. Who can see the quiet girl in the corner of the city? Sir, he sings and sings day and night. Who knows Kai Jixin? Jiangnan Gu Yenxian. Mister, I have been sleepy for a long time. Tang Musu is a famous county. Only Mrs. Xia. I've never seen anyone like this before. Bodhisattva is pretty. By Tian Yang to envy my general. It is always good for Shishan. It's an empty boat. Talk about traveling with things. I have a book but am still lazy. The water melody song goes back. There is no poetry in the strength of the muscles. It needs wind and rain. Bodhisattva man, palindrome. The spring shirt in Luohua Xianyuan is thin. The spring flowers in thin shirts fall in the courtyard. Cheery hates E. E hates getting late. The dream returns to Oriole's tongue. The tongue-tongued warbler returns to her dream. The post then asked people about their shame. If you are shy, ask for mail. Bodhisattva man, Xia Jing Huiwen, fire clouds sweat and wave beads. The post then asked people about their shame. If you are shy, ask for mail. Bodhisattva man, Xia Jing Huiwen, fire clouds sweat and wave beads. Beads sweat and condense into clouds and fire. Qiong is warm and light. Qing Sha Bai Nuan Qiong. Dizzy, cheeks and pillow marks. The pillow feels dizzy. Take a leisurely photo in the evening and wear makeup. The remaining makeup is taken care of in the evening. Bodhisattvaman, palindrome. The Qiaonan River has light red plum blossoms. Xiaomei is red and shallow in Jiangnan Xiao. Peep into my side. The fence peeked at me. The old man is about to arrive. When you arrive, you will be old. Cherish the broken branches when parting. The branches are reluctant to leave. Bodhisattva man, a palindrome of the four-season spring boudoir grudge. The green servant girl's slanting curtain is clouded and her ears are drooping. The cloud mantle on the earlobe is slanting and the servant girl is green. I fell asleep during the spring festival gala. Lethargic late spring. Ziwali snow pendant. Falling in search of fine flowers. I miss that person. Who cares about shallow frown? The Bodhisattva man, a palindrome of Xia's boudoir, Lu Tingfeng dispersed people to sleep in the daytime. People who sleep in the day are quiet and the wind is in the willow garden. The fragrant sweat and thin shirt are cool. The cool shirt is thin and sweaty. The Bodhisattva man, a palindrome of Xia's boudoir, Lu Tingfeng dispersed people to sleep in the daytime. People who sleep in the day are quiet and the wind is in the willow garden. The fragrant sweat and thin shirt are cool. The cool shirt is thin and sweaty. The hand is red and the ice bowl is full of lotus root. Lotus root bowl with ice red hands. Lang laughs at the long lotus roots. Long silk lotus root smiling man. Bodhisattva man, palindrome of Chiu boudoir's grudge, Jing Tong's double photo with new makeup and cold look. New photos of Shuangtongjing with cold makeup. Lotus root bowl with ice red hands. Lang laughs at the long lotus roots. Long silk lotus root smiling man. Worry about the flower well and feel shy. Ingu Lian Ni Yong. Yong Ni Pity Guing. Autumn is not suitable for upstairs. Chiu Yi doesn't go upstairs. Bodhisattvaman, Palindong boudoir, the snowflakes are flying and warming my cheeks. The fragrance on the cheeks separates the warmth from the flying flowers and snow. Bullying the snow and letting me wear single clothes. The clothes are left to the snow. The plum blossoms bloomed at the time of farewell. Farewell when the plum blossoms bloom. I don't regret returning home late. It's too late to open and hate to return. Shengchatzi, complaining farewell. I have come to say goodbye to you 3 times. This farewell is really too late. My old mustache has turned white, and I will go to Huainan tomorrow. After drinking, the moon follows people, and the flowers are wet with tears like mist. The following month I chase you back, and I dream about the road by the lake. Incense order, the golden stove is still warm with the remains of musk coal. Shixiang turned over the treasure hairpin. When I smell it again, the lingering smoke is there. This time, the smell is better than before. It will be the same as sinking into the water. And the picture shows that it is lingering for a long time, because of the deep love and the fear of losing one's head. The black night cries, "Send far away." No wonder the heart returns so quickly. The West Lake has its own beauty. If you meet an old friend and tell him in detail, your hair will be gray at that time. Xiao Zheng remembers very well, and Nan is still good at poetry. There is also a sea bass that can be cut into meat, and the children should not be taught about it. Poppy, Pipa. Set the scene and where is he Lao Jin? Change the voice several times. Complaints sit and silence the old voice. Common ears only know that there are many hands and no need to play. If the string is broken, who can tell? Wenji is 7 years old. Try to learn how to play the thunder roll. There should be old people from Kaiyuan who shed tears. Yu Meiren, reflecting on love, the heart of returning is just like the spring grass. Try to wear clothes. Juhuai blooms to Wang in a few days. Try to learn how to play the thunder roll. There should be old people from Kaiyuan who shed tears. Yu Meiren, reflecting on love, the heart of returning is just like the spring grass. Try to wear clothes. Juhuai blooms to Wang in a few days. Huaizu has been angry with Wendu and will not return. The Zen heart has cut off human love. Only level crossing is available. Laughing about the relationship is the same. See new gifts of spiritual light and have family tradition. Poppy. There is a beautiful hall, a gift from ancient times. Hushan is believed to be the beauty of the southeast. A glance can spread 1,000 miles. How many times can you come back? Then he was drunk and wandering around. The lanterns were lit for the first time in Sheh Pond. Who sings the water tune? It's late night when the wind is calm and I'm about to go home. There is only one river with bright moon and green glaze. Poppy, it is not true. The same goes for the valley. In the grand view, I saw his handwriting in Jinling. In fact, Dompa Ci is also more wine than tears. Who teaches that the wind is in the dust? Create a trouble and send it to others. He Manzi, written by Huzhou. I heard that Minyi was miserable, but I heard that Jianghan clarified it. But I feel that autumn is coming and I have a good dream. There is a great wall in the southwest. There are at least 3 people in Dongfu, and the 8 kingdoms in Xishan are at the beginning. Don't let the flowers and rivers bleed for you. Why not go to the medicine market? I would like to ask if the Dangren people are there. Kongjiao is famous everywhere. When singing Ziyuan's new songs, you should be particularly affectionate. The whistle is everywhere, it's ugly. Dong Yifu of Du Poyang passed by and was delighted with it, which meant he could divine his neighbors. It's a word that comes from returning home. A little summary, to make the rhythm, to leave Ifu. Let the children of the family sing it, and the time will follow the east slope. let go of the grass and harmonize it, and buckle the horns of the oxen to make knots. Isn't it a joy? Abandoning home because of alcohol, oral and physical intercourse is exhausting. When you return, who will not send you back? I feel like everything in the past is not what it is now. Lu Weishi. The conquering husband showed me the way back, and the children laughed and chatted in front of the door. Alas, the old chrysanthemums are all barren, and the new pines are growing old. This has been the case for me this year. But the small window is closed. Use the stick to watch Gu Yun Hongfei at dusk. The clouds and mountains are unintentional, and the birds return when they are tired. It was not intentional. Hey. This has been the case for me this year. But the small window is closed. Use the stick to watch Gu Yun Hongfei at dusk. The clouds and mountains are unintentional, and the birds return when they are tired. It was not intentional. Hey. Come back. I forget myself and the world now. There are no idle words among relatives, but there is truth in the music and books. The steps are rugged at the foot of Tsuetsue, with graceful streams flowing over them, and spring water trickling in the dark valleys. Watching the flourishing vegetation, I feel like a quiet person. My journey in life has come to an end. Think about how long it will take to stay in the shape. Unconsciously what the emperor wants. I trust my heart and decide who will stay or leave. The gods know where it is, but wealth is not my ambition. But I know that when I climb mountains near the water and sing songs, I drink wine from the pot and get drunk. There is no doubt about destiny in this life. And if you ride the current, you will stop when you encounter obstacles. There is no doubt about destiny in this life. And if you ride the current, you will stop when you encounter obstacles. Xiao Ben, Spring Poems. I fell asleep in the painting hall, with silver garlic hanging on the curtains, and bead curtains hanging on the ground. The first rain stopped and the blue sky washed out. The weather is soothing and flowering. A warm breeze blows back to the fragrant grass, and the glory floats, covering the silver pond water. The right side of the square is evenly crispy, the flowers are embroidered, and the garden is lined with red and green. See the swallow carrying butterflies passing through the branches. Suddenly a thread of incense chases the hairspring. The day is forever in the world, the setting sun is independent, and the mood comes later. I took advantage of the opportunity and brought my beauties with me. Go deep into Fangfili. The music played on the huqin is played gently, slowly, and gently. Pay close attention to the skirt, be anxious about the sandalwood board, and be shocked and the colorful clothes are broken. The crooked moon is on the eyebrows, the drunken clouds are crossing the face, and the singing is melodious in the clouds. Let the red rain fall on your head and the flowers fly. Gradually, the jade toad in the west of the magpie tower is lower. Still lingering. Not satisfied yet. You see, the present and the past are long, and the world of officials is floating. These 100 years, a few days, only 36,000. It's okay to have a smooth road in Zhuexiang, but life needs to be adapted to your emotions. Point the crimson lips. Ji Si Chongjiu and Su Jian. Our generation's love is like Longshan banquet in ancient times. Now Chudian. I am watching the horse play. I think I am a beauty, but I don't realize that I am half strong. The sound of the kite is far away. The clouds on the temples are blowing. Worry is like a wild goose. Spot the crimson lips. The previous rhyme is used again in Zhengwu Chongjiu. There is no need to mourn the autumn. This year I will be healthy and enjoy the feast. Jiangsuan Hadian. Always have an empty view. I still want to cross fun. Orchids and chrysanthemums are half in harmony. The building is far away. White clouds fly in chaos. There are geese every year. Dian the red lips, then give money to Gong Yong. Don't sing Yangguan. The romantic young man will end the banquet. Qin Shan Yudian. What a wonder. Looking north to the plain, the setting sun is halfway up the mountain. The lonely sail is far away. My song is chaotic. Send flying geese to the west. What a wonder. Looking north to the plain, the setting sun is halfway up the mountain. The lonely sail is far away. My song is chaotic. Send flying geese to the west. Spot the crimson lips, drunk in the boat. The flow of information leads to the depths of the flower. Wrong fate. There is no plan to live among the flowers. The smoke and water are vast, and the sun sets thousands of miles away. There are countless mountains. As red as rain. Don't remember the time and the way you came. The red lips are lit from hatred, the moon turns and the crow crows. Huatang Gongzheng gave birth to separation and hatred. The beauty is depressed. Regardless of whether the clothes are gone. Clear the tears, and break the soft intestines. Ask the angry man. With the light behind me, I secretly wiped away all the remaining makeup powder. The palace was full of peach blossoms, but Lu Lang had not seen them all. In the middle of the night, a branch is soft. The sun and moon of the fairy family laugh at the spring festival gala on earth. When I woke up from deep sleep, I was startled by thousands of pieces of red. Secret feelings are hard to convey, and shame is easy to change. In vain, I have a broken heart. I ask you how you plan your mind all day long. You must believe it, it is commonplace. Oryun gives Chaoyun. The white hair and pale face are the realm of Vimalakia. What's wrong with an empty abbot and scattered flowers? The red lips are dotted with chopsticks, and the bun of the bun is brightened. These people only exist for thousands of lives. Good-hearted and caring. Under the idle window, the clouds are gathering and the sun is shining. During the Dragon Boat Festival in the Ming Dynasty, the orchid will be worn as a pendant. Looking for a good poem, I want to write about nepotism. Played by Bang Ji, when farewell greetings came, countless lights were shining brightly. Take a peek at Qingsua and the Gap. Yuan Lai is the fairy couple of Kailwan. When they met, Guan Su whispered. 100 suns with tassels, 1,000 treasure torches. There is smoke in the human world and in the bridal chamber. What's the matter with spring? So throw people elsewhere. Sitting there, I can see the way home from the distant mountains in the building. Complaining one's heartfelt feelings, sending ancient elements. The scenery of Qiantang is ancient and strange. The prefect can write poems regularly. Where is the pioneer's crossbow? My heart has pledged to Jiangxi. When the flowers are gone, the leaves are flying. The rain is miserable. If it is emotional, ask the new official more and cry to the old official. Comments of heartfelt love, begonia. Begonia beads are embellished with layers of beads. The clear dawn is close to the curtain. The rouge is evenly light and thick towards the sides of the face. Look at the tender leaves and cherish the red flowers. Infinite meaning. Like flowers and leaves, they share the spring breeze year after year. Speaking of one's true feelings, pipa girl. Xiaoyan plays the pipa string for the first time. The bullet breaks through the blue sky. It is clear that the deep hatred of Xiu Pavilion is spread to Chuzhong. Her skin is jade-like, and her temples are combed like cicadas. In front of the beautiful window. Su Yi tonight, so she follows people, like fighting against Chan Wan. Gung Lizi, sent to Sun Jiyuan. The water is empty and the mountain is shining on the city. In Ershu township of the Western Han dynasty. New gray hair, old gold. The kindness of the old friend is deep. At the east end of the sea, at the end of the mountain. Since ancient times, empty boats have come and gone. If you have a letter, go to the autumn period. Make you unable to return. Hua Qing Yin, feeling old, normally, Xinglan soup in October. Yuzong Qiong Liang. The carriages and horses of the 5 families are like water, and the roadside is full of pearls. Tsuihua went to cover the square bed. Only the smoke trees remain. So far, the clear moon has passed over the wall. Tao Yuan recalls old friends, late spring, where is Hua Su's dream? Hear the orioles singing in the mangroves. A few rose-scented showers. Lonely courtyard house. The warm breeze kept the flowers in place. There are countless people in the film. Looking forward to spring's return upstairs. The grass loses its way back. Drunk and downcast. Narrate my feelings, drunk, wake up, wake up. You know how to taste this. A thick pour of amber scented with floating ants. When you feel sad, don't feel happy. The tent must be made into heaven and earth. Dance before singing and sleep before flowers. From his downfall. Yuxing Xingxing makes Xian haggard. Drunk and desolate, the elements are present at the table, it's like yesterday. Life is wandering everywhere. We meet by chance but still leave. If you are sick and worried, you must believe that you are always wrong. I smiled and excused myself. The end of the world is both hurt and reduced. Therefore, the mountain still bears the promise of life. Looking to the west at Ame, I am always envious of the flying crane. Drunk and downcast, remembering farewell. Gray hair and gray hair. When will the return of the mountain be decided? Old friends and new friends have great news. Only beautiful people still say farewell attentively. I wanted to leave the pavilion and swallowed my song. The drizzle of rain blows coolly on my cheeks. There is no need to wear a scarf to shed tears. The bomb is stuck in Luo Yi, and he said it when he saw the picture. Drunk and downcast, telling the story, the light clouds and the moonlight. In the second watch, the boat is about to set off after sobering up. The lonely city looks back at the mist. A beautiful young man. Don't remember the time of return. The towel fell to the side of the fan and slipped on the bed. There is no one to talk about when I wake up and have a dream. When will the wandering of this life rest? My home is in the southwest, and my hometown is in the southeast. Visit Kinmen, autumn night. In the autumn curtain. Long leakage makes people sleepless. Low jade pillow, cool and lightly embroidered quilt. An autumn smell. The dawn color invades the window paper again. The sound of chickens began to sound outside the window. The sound was broken several times. In the autumn curtain. Long leakage makes people sleepless. Low jade pillow, cool and lightly embroidered quilt. An autumn smell. The dawn color invades the window paper again. The sound of chickens began to sound outside the window. The sound was broken several times but still reached my ears. It has been made clear. Visiting Jinmen, Chuxing, Chuchi Pavilion. The wind blows by the curtain of the dawn court. The frost leaves have not faded yet. Half-frightened crow and magpie. Laughing at one's own fame and weak feelings. It seems that he is alienated from the world. A lazy heart and lazy feet. Easy to teach and idle. Visit Kinmen, autumn feeling. It will rain tonight. Ruining the remaining summer heat of the year. Come to Beppu by sitting and listening to the sound of the tide. Where to go tomorrow? Live up to the gold and green wine. Will it be fine tonight next year? When you wake up from drinking, you will feel a little sad when you wake up from your dream. Late at night he was still talking alone. Like Meng Ling. The name of Tangzhuang Zongzong system reminds me of the fairy beauty, but I think its name is inelegant. So it was changed to Ru Meng Ling. Gaizhuangzong wrote this poem, and his post said, like a dream, we go out with tears to see each other off. Because of this, it is named after this. Send a message to white people's backs, and you will spend all your time waving your elbows. Hands lightly, a layman is originally innocent. Like Meng Ling, same as above, only by purifying yourself can you purify others. I was sweating and angry. Send a message to those who bathe. Let's play together with the flesh. But wash. Condescend to everything in the world. Like a dream order, you send it, to convey a message to Dongpa. The person is deep in the Yutong. If anyone comes after we say goodbye, the bridge is covered. Let's play together with the flesh. But wash. Condescend to everything in the world. Like a dream order, you send it, to convey a message to Dongpa. The person is deep in the Yutong. If anyone comes after we say goodbye, the bridge is covered with snow and there is no way. Go back. A plow of spring rain falls on the river. Like Meng Ling, spring thoughts, I plant peaches and plums in front of the hall. Infinite green in Qingzi. There are hundreds of tongues outside the curtain, startling me from my late spring sleep. Layman. Don't forget the small bridge and flowing water. Yangguan Song, the original name of the Mid-Autumn Festival song is Shaoqin Wang, and it is called Yangguan Song when you sing it. The dusk clouds have gathered up and overflowed with coldness. Yin Han turned the jade plate silently. This night in this life will not last long. Where can I see the bright moon next year? Yang Guangku, in the army, the purple-bearded man surrendered to the city. Tainan Old Theater. I hate you for not taking the chitin head, and the golden Jia flag returns to your hometown. Yangguan Song, Li Gongza, Jinan has a good spring and the snow is beginning to clear. Just arrived at Ryuyama Ma Shigeru. Please don't forget the girl from Peishi River, who also made the sound of heartbreak in Yangguan. Minus the word magnolia. As a gift to Su Zhongtu, the guardian of Run, and the sentence begins with Xingrong has settled down, Gaoing has been good. Xingzhuang is hospitable. Please allow me to bow before you. Put pen to paper and create wind. His reputation is worthy of his reputation. The mountains are white early. The clear bones and ice skin relieve aging. From then on, Nanshu. On a good night, the moon fills the lake with clear breeze. Reduced word magnolia, meaning, cloud servant girl falls over. Drunk and leaning against the wind, the moon is good. Rely on support. Stumbled into the jasper teapot of Shenjia. The grass is declining all day long. Take Hunan West Road. A piece of Gusu. Then he chased the barbarians away and found nothing. Reduced word magnolia, lychee, Minshi treasure. The clouds and sails crossing the sea come like arrows. A merlin and gold plate. No tribute to the wonderful 400 years. Light red brewed into white. Elegantly known as the beautiful woman's delicate hands. Fragrant to the bones and muscles. It was the 18th mother back then. Reduced word Melanhua, sent to Dongwu Ling Zhaohuiji, Xian Zai Ling Yin. The three officials are no longer happy and unhappy. Who am I alone? Still tarnishing the false name of the Jean gentry. It's better to go back. 2 hectares of fertile land are nowhere to be found. Come back. How long will it take for there to be good farmland? Reduced word magnolia, farewell, the jade cup is tasteless. There is a beautiful woman who sheds 1,000 tears. Learn the Tao and forget your worries. One thought is still not free. Not seen now. When I return home, the flowers in the east garden look like sleet. A word that makes sense. It seems that he never came in the first place. Reduce the word magnolia to send Zhao Ling under the spring light pavilion. Where is the flowing water now? Time flies. Prime Minister Bai didn't know what to do. An old friend meets again. Things have changed over the years. The official situation is declining. Ashamed that the green pines guard the cold weather. Reduce the word magnolia. He said, I have received a reward for having no merit. The emperor said, how can I allow you to have merit in this matter? His colleagues thought they were laughing. I passed by Wuxing, and Li Gong chose to give birth to a son. He spent 3 days visiting guests to ask for songs and lyrics. When he performed this poem, everyone fell down. Thank you for your help. How did this matter get to Denon? Reduced word magnolia, descriptive book. The wind is gentle in the morning. There will be no magpies to announce the good news. But I envy the cold plum blossoms. I feel the spring breeze coming overnight. A piece of paper. Write all the meaning of the palindrome machine. Desire reopens. Read it thousands and thousands of times. A piece of paper. Write all the meaning of the palindrome machine. Desire reopens. Read it thousands and thousands of times. Reduced word magnolia, farewell, the old road on the rooftop. I should hate Lu Lang coming and going. Don't drink too much. Listen to the fourth sound of Yangguan forbearance. Lu Lang is not old yet. The longing for the fairyland is restored. Just for fear of following the rules. I don't see the people who persuade me to drink now. Reduce the word magnolia, somewhere. I lie under it during the day. Zhejiang was a county, and one day Pingxi passed by, and the wind in the pines was noisy. Looking for a sentence while pointing to the falling flowers, Zhejiang composed this poem. Sparse shadow and slight fragrance. There is a ghost below, and the days and dreams are long. The lake breeze is soft. 2 magpies fly in to make noise at night. Green and light red. Nowadays, the sky is 100 feet high. Reduced word magnolia, gift to the little servant girl Pipa. The Pipa is exquisite. They are all 11 or 12 years old. Fiddle with the strings. If you don't understand it, please pass it down. The master is angry with Xiao. If you want to face the east wind, you will get drunk first. Already belongs to your family. And wait for him more calmly. Reduced word magnolia, beginning of spring, spring ox and spring stick. The infinite spring breeze comes to the sea. Then work with Chun Gong. It's dyed pink like flesh red. Spring flags and spring victory. A gust of spring breeze wakes me up. Not like Tianya. Rolling up poplar flowers like snowflakes. Reduced word magnolia, snow words, the cloud is bright and white. At dawn, the jade flowers are like weaving. The wind blows for no reason. If you want to learn from Yanghua, it is more cold resistant. Looks like he is still young. Liang Yuan can still accompany Jun Shao. Don't worry about idleness. And fold the jiangmei and go up to the small building. Reduced word magnolia, flower, jade room with golden stamens. It should be in the delicate hands of a beautiful woman. The pale moon is hazy. There is also a slight sleeve style. Warm, fragrant and ripe. The drunken servant girl drooped her ears. Thank you, Chun Gong. It's not red, it's jade. The pale moon is hazy. There is also a slight sleeve style. Warm, fragrant and ripe. The drunken servant girl drooped her ears. Thank you, Chun Gong. It's not red, it's jade. Spring garden at noon. The fragrant mash is shaking and the light is dancing. Walk around the corridor. The half-fallen plum blossoms are fragrant. Light clouds and mist. It's always a young man's journey to the east. Not like the autumn light. I only care about people who are away from me. Reduced word magnolia, gift to win, natural house. Thousands and tens of thousands have been competed. Talk and know. The victory comes from expressing virtue. Now it's 14. The monkey slave in the sea is. If you want to bet, stop being crazy. 6 dice, 6 o'clock. Huanxi sand, new autumn. The wind rolls the bead curtain up. The rustling leaves announce the new autumn. Walking up a tall building alone. The missing moon makes people look graceful, and the 3 stars are in place to take care of them. Fragrance produces mist, and you can see the delicacy. Wangxisha, visit Chishui Qingshuan Temple. The temple is adjacent to Lanxi River, and the stream flows west. At the foot of the mountain, orchid buds dip into the stream. The sandy road among the pines is clean and mud-free. Xiao Xiao Chun Mu Zi Gui cries. Who knows that there is no less in life, and the water running in front of the door can still flow to the west. Stop singing Yellow Chicken with White Hair. Wangxisha, fisherman, egrets fly by the Shisai mountain. The scattered flowers outside the island are slightly scattered. Peach blossoms and flowing water mandarin fish fat. I wear a green hat to protect myself, and follow me everywhere in green coir raincoats. There is no need to return to the slanting wind and drizzle. Huanqi Sha, tomorrow I will sober up and it will snow heavily, so I will compose 2 more poems. There is no smoke seen in Lingao in this world. The rain has half-closed eaves and broken wires, and the tiles and beads are beginning to fall from the snow forest. When I return, the ice particles stick to my beard. Wangxisha, previous rhyme, drunken and drunken, the dawn is not over yet. There is a wheel in front of the door, so you can drive your car. How can one hold one's head up to produce nothing? Picking out green feathers from the cold vegetables in the waste garden, and freezing pearls in spring wine from the small trough. The fragrant plum must be chewed carefully. Wangxisha, previous rhyme. The surname of the Shuali dining rug is Su. I asked you to carry the wine as a carriage return. The weather is cold and the wine and sex are gone. Recommenders have heard that flying osprey means that one should not use snake beads to repay kindness. When he was drunk, the surname of the Shuali dining rug is Su. I asked you to carry the wine as a carriage return. The weather is cold and the wine and sex are gone. Recommenders have heard that flying osprey means that one should not use snake beads to repay kindness. When he was drunk, he even hugged Huan Su. Huanqi sand, reharvest the previous rhyme, sustain accumulates on Silver Mountain in the middle of the night. Come to Jiuma with a car. There was no smoke in Taojiang River for a while. On an empty stomach, there are poems and knots in clothes, and wet fuel is like cinnamon rice and beads. Who can accompany you when you are freezing and twirling your mustache? Wangxisha, previous rhyme, 10,000 hectares of wind and waves do not remember Su. Thousands of wheat carts ride on the snowy Qingjiang River. But it makes me feel full and sad. The green sleeves lean against the wind and linger in the catkins. The red lips are rotten with wine. He tweezed his frosty beard in front of him. Huanqi Sha, 2 poems on September 9th. The juniper fir is as cold as frost. The songs and dances of the mountain city aid the desolation. Let's eat and drink the scenery of the mountains and the lake. They held Zhu Shi for half a day, and forcibly rubbed the green pistols to celebrate the double ninth festival. I don't know who will be yellow tomorrow. Wangxisha, and the previous rhyme, the frosty temples are really worthy of being inserted into the frost. The sad strings and dangerous pillars make Ilyang temporarily transformed into scenery. I haven't sent Qing Zun to the North Sea, and I haven't sent the flute to the mountain sun. The golden hairpin and jade wrist have goose-yellow diarrhea. Wangxisha, feelings, Fu Fan is both a gentleman and a fan slave. Don't teach me how to apply powder and apply jus. Natural ice jade is crisp and fragrant. If a guest can write a gift for the goddess, I will give it to Schwer. Meng Hun goes east to find mulberry trees. Wunkxisha, Ode to Orange. The chrysanthemum is dark and the lotus withers away after a night of frost. The newly budded green leaves illuminate the forest. The bamboo fence and thatched cottage are green and yellow. The chrysanthemum is dark and the lotus withers away after a night of frost. The newly budded green leaves illuminate the forest. The bamboo fence and thatched cottage are green and yellow. The fragrant mist is half startling, and the clear spring is the first taste of the water. Wu Ji's hands still smell good after 3 days. Huanqi sand, the colorful flowers are very strange, which is said to be the beginning of spring. Because he composed 2 poems, they were sent to Yuan Gongji. I have already shed my shameful face before I am drunk. Don't sing about yellow chicken and white hair, and call Zhang Zhang and brother Yin. Someone goes back and wants to be with you. Wunkxisha, previous rhyme, the sharp east wind and the green curtain are startling. Why don't you drink to Gongrong? Crystal painting jade scales. Huaying Mogu Sanyu, Zhu Yan has not been called brother for 5 years. Dear Master of Hanlin Zimo. Huanqi Sha. The sun shines deep red and warm to see the fish. Lianxi is green and dark, hiding blacks in the evening. Huang Tong and old people gathered in Sui Su. Although the elk are not used to meeting people, the apes do not need to call when they hear it. Talk about returning home and picking mulberry trees. Huanqi Sha, wear red makeup to look at the envoy. 3, 3, 5 and 5 thorn fence gates. They touched each other and broke Qianluo's skirt. The young and old helped destroy the wheat harvesting community. Wu Yuan Xiang Wu Saishan village. I met a drunk old man lying down at dusk. Huanqi sand, layers of hemp leaves are light. Whose family cooks cocoons for a village? The lady whispering coquettishly across the fence. The white cane drooped down and the quinoa raised its drunken eyes. Pounding the green leaves of my shao makes you hungry. Asked when the bean leaves will turn yellow. Huanqi sand. The sound of milling wheels was heard in the north of the village. Nyoigu Lu sells cucumbers. The road is long but I feel sleepy when I am tired of drinking. When I am high in the sun, I am thirsty and think about tea. Knock on the door and ask the savages. Huanqi sand, the soft grass has fallen and is fresh after the rain. Walking on the light sand road is dust-free. When to pack up? The sun is warm and the mulberry trees are as bright as splashing, and the wind blows and the air of mugwort and mugwort is like smoke. Shi Junyuan is one of them. Wunkxisha, spring love, the word Tao is charming and painful. The dream of spring pavilion is not sentimental. What's the matter with the green servant girl? Saisuwa is light and long, taking advantage of the swallows. He sleeps under the red window but does not hear the warblers. The weather is close to Qingming Festival. Wunkxisha, Chrysanthemum Festival. The misty and dangerous building is among the purple and green. Good times and happy things are hard to come by. Feeling nostalgic and sad. The bright moon and beautiful branches are in the sky every night, and the chrysanthemums look like flowers year after year. I don't know who I will watch next year. Huanqi sand, spring love, a painting wheel stood by the peach and plum stream. The sound of the partridge is so clear. Although the sunset is almost dusk. The fragrance is in the clothes, the makeup is in the arms, the water is connected with the fragrant grass and the moon is connected with the clouds. Huanxi sand, spring love, a painting wheel stood by the peach and plum stream. The sound of the partridge is so clear. Although the sunset is almost dusk. The fragrance is in the clothes, the makeup is in the arms, the water is connected with the fragrant grass and the moon is connected with the clouds. When will I go back and not be ecstatic? Huanxi Sha, lotus. There are 10 miles of poplars and lotuses hanging down on all sides. Ask the cloud where there are the most flowers. The sunset and the south bank of the painting building. The weather is cold and people are lonely. Time must be passed away with wine. Come and listen to the music in the flowers. Wang Xisha, gifted to Lucio for court discussion, then returned to Shuzhou. It has been 4 years since I left Gusu. Autumn breeze sends the boat back to Nanpu. The water fairy is seen again in the painting curtain. The frost on my temples does not need to make me grow old, the apricot blossoms still remain on my face. The night is full of dreams. Huanxi sand, given as a gift, only a little yellow can be seen between the eyebrows. The imperial edict urged Yu Shu to be busy. Teach me how to wash off red makeup with tears. When you go up to the palace, wings are born in the sky, and you are talking about soldiers with wind and frost on their teeth and cheeks. The sleeves of my shirt are scented when I return home. Wang Xisha, reminiscing about the past. Chang remembers the sound of the musical instrument splashing in the hall. The red face and green hair reflect the weeping poplar trees. Nowadays, there is a lot of frost on my temples in autumn. Getting together, going out, and traveling are like a dream, and don't think about the ups and downs of other things. Zhongqing never avoided Tongxiang. Huanxi sand, spring love. The wind pressure is light and the clouds fly against the water, and the swallows compete in the mud in the clear pool. Shen Lang was very sick and couldn't bear to wear clothes. I can't hear the swan geese on the sand, but I can hear the cries of partridges among the bamboos. Only falling flowers know this feeling. Huanxi Sha drinking pineapple in the wild, setting up pine yellow soup, and making this meal. Carrying a pot and borrowing grass is also naive. The jade powder is light yellow and 1,000-year-old medicine, and the snowflakes are floating in the spring of thousands of families. There are new wild plums on Guijiang Road. Wang Xisha, Chongjiu Old Rhyme, by Xueqing's poems came out of the sitting room. Love you, you have both talents and skills. The scenery of a foreign land remains the same. I hate how long it will take to meet again, and I don't know when we will meet again. Cornus officinalis looks more carefully. Huanxi Sha. On December 24th, the 7th year of Yuan Feng, Uncle Lu Qian from Xizhou traveled to Nanshan. The drizzle was slanting and the wind was making it cold at dawn. Light smoke and sparse willows make the beach beautiful. The journey into Huaiqing Luo is gradually long. Snow foam and milk flowers float on the afternoon cup, and polygonum antler and artemisia bamboo shoots are tested on the spring plate. The taste of the world is pure joy. Wang Xisha, sending Mr. Mei Ting to Luzhou to study as an official, the east wind and snow sprinkled the train outside the door. looking back at Sanwo from the top of the mountain. It should not be played as there is no fish. Shangdang has always been the leader of the world, and Mr. Yuan is an ancient Confucian. Usually I don't use Lu Lian Shu. Huanqi Sha. Shuzhou Zhengchuan Pavilion Garden. I am ashamed that this year there will be 2 wheat harvests. Thousands of fine waves dance in the clear sky. The remaining energy of the chemical industry was dyed red. When the monkey goes back, he should carry his load backwards, and the children in the streets will clap and laugh. It was even famous as the Jinshuan cage. Huanqi sand, same as above, 2 bushels of peony and cherry blossoms are new. Mingyuan Gao Hui will give Fengshen a gift. Early summer in Luoyang and spring in Guangling. The red jade half-open bodhisattva face. The cinnabar is thicker than the willow branches. There is another person in front of you. Huanqi Sha, a gift to Chu Shoutian's servant girl waiting to be made at the table. It is a wonderful year to learn to paint your. Under Yangcheng, Kai is trapped in Yanran. Don't be fooled by shortcomings of karma. The incense of the Sheng is blown through the mist tent, and the moon is dancing in the frost garden. At the end of the song, the red sleeves fall down and twine. Wang Sisha, He Qianyun, it takes 5 years to dream of the world. After returning, the scenery remains the same. Meeting and getting drunk is the prerequisite. Relocating guests should not stay away from home for a long time, so that you can go out to Xiakanjuan. The green servant girl was chatting with little poems. Wangxisha, Dragon Boat Festival. The light juice is slightly translucent. In the Ming Dynasty, people bathed in orchids during the Dragon Boat Festival. The flowing fragrance fills Qingchuan. The colorful thread is lightly wrapped around the ruby arm, and the small talisman, the light juice is slightly translucent. In the Ming Dynasty, people bathed in orchids during the Dragon Boat Festival. The flowing fragrance fills Qingchuan. The colorful thread is lightly wrapped around the ruby arm, and the small talisman is hung diagonally on the green cloud servant girl. Beautiful women meet each other for 1,000 years. Huanqi Sha, feeling old. Su Miao is a sage who can drink wine. Lu Ling sat on the ground and the sky was covered with blue. For whom does Pan Lang and Bai Bai connect? With my new gray hair, it's better to go back to the old green mountains. I hate that no one will lend me money to buy it. Wangxisha, self-adapted, it's better to meet each other than to be white-headed. Therefore, the mountain is empty and the dream is pine trees. This place of peace of mind is Tuqiu. Selling swords and buying oxen makes me want to grow old. What more can you ask for than to beg for juice and get wine? I would like to have a spring and autumn festival banquet for Sish. Huanqi Sha, meaning, there is no one around the house. The late rain takes off the catalpa trees. Who pities Ji Zi's Jiaoqiu? I wish that I no longer have any hope in this world, so I have to seek help from the ancients like you. The cold pines and cypresses are willing to start autumn. Wangxisha, immediate event, painted falcons are happy to swim across the river again. The old fish jumps over the threshold to realize the clear truth. The fleeting years are not willing to be wasted. There is no hopelessness beside the yellow chrysanthemum fence, but there is tenderness in Baiyun Township. Don't teach Xiu to save his frosty temples. Double lotus leaf, the name of Huzhou Jia Yun, old and young prostitute, Shuang Hai. Sungay moon. The clear light illuminates the double lotus leaves. Double lotus leaves. The red heart is not even, the green clothes are knotted. The wind is against the wind and the rain is slipping. The light boat has a short boat and the boat breaks first in autumn. Autumn fold first. The servant girl has not yet arrived. The jade cup is missing. Zaaluo Tiju, picking water chestnuts and green emeralds, jobs surely having to be picked up as emeralds to be collected as emeralds to be picked up as green as possible. Picking water chestnuts and green emeralds, it is said that you know your guests. Buy it with thousands of gold, pick up water chestnuts and green emeralds, wear more skirts. A handful of pearl knots. Picking up water chestnuts and green emeralds, the buns are in a bun and the servant girls are just getting together. I am really picking up water chestnuts and picking up green leaves, but I pat them with deep pity. I pick up water chestnuts and pick up green leaves with my hands. They are all fragrant and smooth under my embroidered quilt. Pick water chestnuts and green emeralds. I'll look for him in Beijing. The teasing order, fisherman. Fisherman. There is a gentle breeze and drizzle on the river. Green coir raincoat and yellow bamboo stripe. Red wine and white fish return at dusk. Return to dusk. Where is the sound of the flute? The teasing order. Return to the wild goose. Return to the wild goose. Drink and peck at the south bank of the Yangtze River. He will fly down and wander around. Outside the Great Wall, spring comes and is bitterly cold. Cold and bitter. Cold and bitter. The algae wants to live and live. He Hua Mei, lotus, Xia Bao is charged with green. Naturally, especially romantic style. Under the heavy green cover, Qinjiao shines on the water, so red and white. Every time I look at the bright moon and the clear breeze, I feel very depressed and speechless, delicate and powerless. Eventually the boat must be let go. The fragrance lives in the depths, look at the color. Qingyu case, He Fang Huiyun sent Bo Gu to Wuzhong's former residence. 3 years of pillow on Wuzhonglu. Send Huang heir to follow you. If you go to Songjiang Huxiadu, don't be afraid of gulls and herons. There are 4 bridges everywhere, where I pass by. Looking at the spring evening in Wangchuan River. Always remember the words of Master Yucheng. The date of return has been promised. The spring shirt is still there, and Xiao Man is sewing. The rain once with the West Lake. Yu Jia Ao, gift to Chao Guangzhou, why dye those little white beards? A few people can see the stars. Although the floating light of Zhujuan is like an arrow. Don't be disgusted. The rain once with the West Lake. Yu Jia Ao, gift to Chao Guangzhou, why dye those little white beards? A few people can see the stars. Although the floating light of Zhujuan is like an arrow. Don't be disgusted. It should also be better than my 3-year demotion. I want to complain but don't dare. The 3 counties have always been peaceful. Marriage happens slowly and slowly. Knowing comes gradually. The great burden has been lifted from the beginning. Jiang Qingzi, looking forward to the Maljiaxian mountain. The sky is blue. Between the evening clouds. The high platform on the city is truly transcendent. Don't let the clouds and rain disperse in a hurry. Tonight, the moon is full of beauty. Xiaoxi Ulajing combined boxing. Go to Pian. Light a cigarette. Between the evening clouds. The high platform on the city is truly transcendent. Don't let the clouds and rain disperse in a hurry. Tonight, the moon is full of beauty. Xiaoxi Ulajing combined boxing. Go to Pian. Light a cigarette. Human affairs are desolate, and I will look back on this year. Don't forget to make Yunga smile, under the weeping willows and in front of the short locust trees. Jiang Qingzi, Mo Yun dragged the rain across the west tower. Water flows eastward. Late smoke collection. The setting sun outside the willow is shining back and moving the curtain hook. Wushan is really nice tonight. The flowers have not yet fallen and the wine is fresh. The bow-tie smile turns to starry eyes. Moonflower is shy, holding the golden pot. The singing fan lingers in the wind, blowing away the sorrow of spring. I would like to ask all my friends in the south of the Yangtze River, who is like me? Drunk in Yangzhou. Nan Xiangzi, with rhyme and Taoist assistance, I am not tired of traveling with you for a long time. Manwieo's songs are endless. If you don't change your life, who will stay? I teach you how to use Qingshu to remove musk oil. Fragrant powder and engraved gold balls. The flowers are bright and the red paper is about to flow. From then on, her red lips and white teeth became pure and soft. Sung throughout 100 states in Shandong. Nangxiangzi used the previous rhyme to present to Tian Shutong's family dancing servant girl. Embroidered martingale jade plutonium tour. The lights flicker and the curtains are sparse, but the smiles disappear. The incense car that has been standing for a long time urges you to go up, but you still stay. More importantly, apply some apricot oil on your sandalwood lips. Spend all the 6 balls. Surface swirling wind brings snow flow. When spring comes, the golden strands on the waist are thin and gentle. Planting willows should be done in Liuzhou. Bodhisattva Man, for poems, Huan has light makeup marks on her temples. The 2 cheekbones are as charming as curves. Everything is possible in an instant. Whether laughing or crying. The wine stall is decorated with green quilts. The special reason is so exciting. Afraid of promoting return. The microwave is injected into the person first. Bodhisattva Man, chanting the feet, apply incense and Shilian steps. The long sorrow is gone. I saw the dance returning to the wind. All without a trace. Sneaking through the palace is as safe as possible. Standing side by side, both sides are trapped. Delicacy is difficult to say. Must be viewed from the palm of the hand. Bodhisattva is pretty. Jade plutonium earrings in gold. The light shirt covers the body with the fragrant luo bai. Slowly sleepy spring mash. Chuanrong's face is peach. Huadian was appointed to the land. Who cares about Lang? Jade plutonium earrings in gold. The light shirt covers the body with the fragrant luo bai. Slowly sleepy spring mash. Chuanrong's face is peach. Huadian was appointed to the land. Who cares about Lang? Long love moon Huaqing. At this time, I hate the bright moon. Dai Lianhua, for Pan Dalan, don't drink and advise you to get drunk. Ching Run Pan Lang is also He Lang's son-in-law. Remember Chai Tu Shinli City. Don't give your share to your neighbor in the east. Looking back at Chung and Jilly Land. 30 years ago, I was handsome and romantic. To find out old things from the brothel. The flowers and branches are missing a name. Dai Lianhua, Tongan releases fish on his birthday. Take the Golden Light Sutra to save the fish. The general east wind breaks through 5. The willows in the river are slightly yellow, with thousands of strands. The good atmosphere and lush greenery come to embroider the house. At that time, a strange girl was born on the river. Who can give me a longevity wine glass? 3 pearls, Wang Wendu on his knees, looking at the world with all his strength. God sends Mando rain. Huanchi Sand, Dragon Boat Festival. The breeze does not break the dust when entering your arms. The hosta, rhinoceros and rhinoceros are so beautiful. Who is the new star for? The round fan is only a reminder of the past, and the new one is a pedestrian. The wine market tastes like the end of spring. Huanchi Sha, almost all the pears were found to be snowshuang. Who is the new star for? The round fan is only a reminder of the past, and the new one is a pedestrian. The wine market tastes like the end of spring. Huanchi Sha, almost all the pears were found to be snowshuang. Once the title is placed, it will shine. Where can wood slaves avoid orpiment? I have never met a visitor from the north, but I am priceless and happy to taste new things from the south. Chewing sentences makes your teeth smell good. Huanchi Sand mountain scenery spreads across the mountains and is dipped in hazy clouds. The wind in Xiangchuan is still blowing away cold flowers. There are still crows singing in the distant forest houses. I dreamed of how many roads I had in my hometown, and when I woke up from the drunkenness, I looked south to the other side of the world. The bright moon shines on the flat sand thousands of miles away. Reduced word magnolia, Qin, the mind is leisurely and determined. Wan Lai stopped and the world became quiet. Jade refers to ice string. The business plan of the untouched palace has been passed on. Sorrowful wind and flowing water. Write a few ancient thoughts. Go back sleepless. The sound lingered in my ears all night. Write a few ancient thoughts. Go back sleepless. The sound lingered in my ears all night. Reduced word magnolia, silver zheng spinning product. No need to wrap your head with thousands of feet of brocade. Wonderful thoughts are like a spring. It will wash away the worries for 15 years. For the public's sake. The dance belongs to the father-in-law. Silver mountains in the wind. I am free to play with fishes and dragons. Reduced word magnolia, gift to Junyu Jiaji. Soft temperament. The elegant name is Yi. Jia Wu can sing. Wonderful mid-year style. The eyebrows are long and the eyes are narrow. Lightly freshen up your hair with a new bun. Annoying style. In spring, flowers and branches are in full bloom. Reduced word magnolia, Yinka's explanation. The most important thing is spring. The light rain is like crisp. The color of grass looks far away but is not there up close. Excuse me and get drunk. If the flowers don't bloom, people will grow old easily. Reduced word magnolia, Yinka's explanation. The most important thing is spring. The light rain is like crisp. The color of grass looks far away but is not there up close. Excuse me and get drunk. If the flowers don't bloom, people will grow old easily. Don't wait for spring to come back. Reversing the green moss among the red flowers. Reduce the word magnolia. A girl traveling in the south of the Yangtze River asked me when I would be able to return. The rain is gentle and the wind is gentle, and my feet are like frost, holding up my clothes. Jiang Ting's night language. Happy to see Jinghua's new dance. Lotus steps fly lightly. Migrant guests now begin to return. Reduced word magnolia. Gift to Su Junya's third attendant, Wu Qing. Intrigue at the body is light and graceful. Lord Yuban. Lian Dai looks happy and angry at the same time. Su Jun drank happily, laughing and joking from Yi's affectionate side. The face is tender and red. The flowers lean against the vermilion and live in the wind. Reduced word magnolia, win. Double green pendant. Her delicate eyes are wavy and her eyebrows are green. Wonderful dancing. The palm of the hand is light and the mood is beautiful. Chu is exhausted and exhausted. Smiling while leaning next to someone and breathing heavily. The boss is happy. I can still look carefully even when I am dim. Reduced word magnolia, Qingji, innocent and elegant. Gentle appearance, wise heart. Loud singing voice. Reduced word magnolia, Qingji, innocent and elegant. Gentle appearance, wise heart. Loud singing voice. Contain the green clouds and do not collect them. Wonderful words and tunes. The warbling of new sounds can be intermittent. Passionate about heavy customers. Full of advice, gold and jade are held in hand. Nan Gezi, seeing that Dongyuan is good, it can relieve the worries of visitors from the north. Although I am not from my land, I still climb the stairs. Traveling all the way to the south bank of the Yangtze River, I stayed here. The maple leaves are bright in short days, and the chrysanthemum balls are dark in clear frost. Time flies, but the down payment is wasted. By virtue of saving Pan Yen and Mo Jiaoqiu. Like Mengling, titled Huaishan Tower, there are many floors above the city. Under the city lies Qinghuai and ancient Bian. Raising his hands to bow to Wu Yun, he is far away from the dusk sky. Broken soul. Broken soul. The night after that, the moon was full in Songjiang. The auspicious partridge, the moon has set over the city and the crow is still crowing. The red ships have already filled the lake. Even before the preaching could welcome the 5 horses, the water clouds had already floated with 2 pairs of ducks. A boat with a yellow hat on the mountain and a magpie-tailed stove with green smoke on the bank. When I am old and sick, I just want to sleep in the spring, and I only seek a monk's couch to stay for a while. Linjiang Immortal, gift to Wang Yudao. Whoever said that Dongyang is thin and slender, but his spirit is bright and clear. Yaolin is finally separated from the wind and dust. Try wearing a crane cloak, Linjiang Immortal, gift to Wang Yudao. Whoever said that Dongyang is thin and slender, but his spirit is bright and clear. Yaolin is finally separated from the wind and dust. Try wearing a crane cloak, you are still a banished immortal. You can keep your words pure and clear, but you must keep your weapons intact. Romance is as pure as Taoism. I should not be a guest of Shu, but I love Zhuo Wenjun. Youth Tour, the poem is quick and complete. I went to watch it. God invited me to go on a youth tour, and this was how he played it. There are only two kings everywhere, countless empty spaces, and bad articles. Who can borrow a piece of sandalwood from chopsticks? No one can be like Zhang Liang. One Dendrobium Pearl Luoqing Spring Festival Gala. The weeping willows cover half of the red building. The light waves in the small pond are like seal characters. Before sitting alone under the flowers, I once drunkenly left the singing banquet. I regret that the wind and rain have dispersed. Guanshan is limited and love is unlimited. Looking forward to seeing you again. In order to talk about lovesickness, I cut my eyes off the swallows in the West Building. Dian Crimson Lips, Part 1. Dian Crimson Lips, Part 1 of 2. Leaning leisurely on the bed, there are thousands of flowers on the peak outside Yugong Tower. Who to sit with? The bright moon cools me. Don't come by one, if there is a singing, you must be harmonious. The wind and the moon are divided equally. Crimson Lips, Part 2, red apricots are fragrant, willows contain smoke and emeralds trail lightly. Shuhu by the water. All the twilight rain. The shadow of the candle shakes in the wind, and a pillow hurts the mood of spring. The wind and the moon are divided equally. Crimson Lips, Part 2, red apricots are fragrant, willows contain smoke and emeralds trail lightly. Shuhu by the water. All the twilight rain. The shadow of the candle shakes in the wind, and a pillow hurts the mood of spring. Can't go back. Where is Feng Lu? The grass loses its way back. Poppy, hold the cup and shake it to persuade the moon in the sky. May the moon be full and perfect. Holding the cup again to persuade the flower branches. And may the flowers and branches grow and never leave. Holding a cup and getting drunk in front of flowers under the moon. Stop asking about prosperity and decline. How many people can know this joy? If you don't drink wine when the flowers are blooming, how long will it take? Heavenly fairy, going around to explore the flowers. It is not easy for people and chemicals. Come back 1,000 times and look around 100 times, bees serve as maids. The warbler is the envoy. Grain rain is clear and the sky is empty. The white-haired Lu Lang is still in love. One night, the Jian knife was used to collect the jade pistols. The person in front of me was still red with heartache, and the person was in tears. Flowers are unintentional. Tomorrow the floor should be full of wine. Man Ting Fong, and Fong returned to Yangxian and wrote another article. There are thousands of mountains on it. To the east of the painting building, the sky is far away and there are many sunsets. When I grow old and have not repaid your kindness, I have no time to look back and sing sad songs. The bow of the boat turned, the wind blew thousands of miles, and the horse returned to the flat slope. Nothing. Where is it? Where the silver curtain ends, the goddess stops her shuttle. Asking what is going on in the world, I have been playing in the storm for a long time. Goose said that if you come with me as a child, you should be dead and have a long waist. The green shirt is torn, the immortals laugh at me, and thousands of wisps of smoke hang from the choir. Nengxiangzi. Suzhou Shangyuan, thousands of riders try out the spring outing. The light rain will stop as soon as it falls. It can make Jiangdong return to old customers. Stay late. Suzhou Shangyuan, thousands of riders try out the spring outing. The light rain will stop as soon as it falls. It can make Jiangdong return to old customers. Stay late. White wine silently purges oil. Flying fire chaos the planet. The light green waves are about to flow. It's not as cold as Baiyun Township, but gentle. This is the first state in Huainan. Hanxi Sha, the misty red makeup shines on the shallow stream. Thin clouds and sparse rain will not turn into mud. Where can I send you to ancient Taishi? The waste marsh is full of autumn water at night, and the evening orioles are singing deep in the lush forest. Pedestrians are heartbroken and desolate. Wangxisha, sending Yi Chunhua, Yangxian Gusu has bought a field. Whoever meets you believes that it is the destiny. If you don't teach me, you can sing like the water is like the sky. I am the Lord of Dongshao, guarding you, and we will remain together until we grow old. The West Lake is known to have the same age. If you don't teach me, you can sing like the water is like the sky. I am the Lord of Dongshao, guarding you, and we will remain together until we grow old. The West Lake is known to have the same age. The word magnolia is reduced. The sound of the empty bed sounded. Spring birds on flowers and hail on ice. In front of Zoimengzuan. The wind from the lake stirred up the cold wind. Turn off the walk rope. The spring water flows and the frost pours in. The moon falls late at night. He even invited Gong Gao to play solo. Reduced word magnolia, Rome, sitting in the guest's eyes, no more sick and summer feeling. The dream returns to drunkenness. Hundreds of feet of flying waves ring out from the blue well. Snow sprinkles the ice. Attack the beauty's white jade skin. Reduced word magnolia, use a large glass cup to persuade Wang Zhongwang, Hainan's rare treasure. Cast a round ball like a castellated tree. Went to Kunlun. Begging for the jade girl's basin on the top of the mountain. Mr. Wang of Jiangzhou. 100 years old and stubborn can't push him down. Haikao is like a gate. A stream of yellow water has rushed forward. Xingxiangzi. After crossing Nanshan with Si Shou and returning home at night. Looking north to Pingchuan. Wild water and deserted bay. Let's look for spring together and show off our beautiful faces at a flying pace. The gentle wind blows on the sleeves, and the fragrant mist lingers on the servant girl. When the wine is in full swing, people are talking and laughing among the white clouds. Feihong falls, and the phase is about to return, the beauty is light and the jade is leisurely. Who has nothing to do and feasts on an empty mountain? On the Wangchang Bridge, the lights are in chaos, so you can return. Huatang Chun, GZU. Willow flowers fly where wheat shakes. Wanhu Jingjian is newly polished. The boat flies away like a shuttle. Let's sing the Linkai song together. The water and clouds in the plains are rippling, and the wind and sunshine in the small building are gentle. Jinan is full of dust clouds. Why worry about returning home? Huanxi Sha, Fang Xiang, the silver pond is filled with flowers and the water flows over it. The rhinoceros mallet jade plate plays in Liangzhou. The wind blows around the Qin Tower. The blue clouds of the distant Han Dynasty were light and indifferent. We are at Magpie Bridge tonight. A sound struck Jianghe autumn. Good things are close at hand. Leaning on the dangerous building outside the smoke, I first saw the lights in the distance. But I went back across the jade rainbow to look at the stars and the moon in the cave sky. At that time, Zhang Fan was in Fenglu, and his face was full of snow. Don't ask what's going on in the world, and don't sneer at the sword's head. Occupying Chunfang, the red apricots are gone, the young peaches are gone, I can only occupy Chunfang. No better than the orchid musk deer in the world, it is naturally fragrant and fragrant. Don't forget about wine. Like a beautiful woman, combined with bright light. I only worry about the flowers falling when the flute blows, except for King Ming. Nan Gezi. The clouds on the temples are freshly green, and the clouds are covered in red. Waiting for the song to stand in the green feast. What's the matter with a colorful cloud? Come down to Wu Peak. Taking advantage of the opportunity to take a picture of Wan Feijing, he turned back to Yan Yangkong. Don't turn over your red sleeves and pass them through the curtains. Afraid of being seduced by Yangguaju and marrying the east wind. Lengtuosha, I left Dongqing yesterday. Test love. The red apricots on the wall are as dark as falling. The fragrant buds in the threshold have not sprouted yet, and they have already returned to spring. Chi Mo collects the fragrance. Zuijiqian village. Dong Jun's intentions are painstaking. It is expected that spring will bloom everywhere first, blooming plum blossoms. Magnolia flower order, the Lantern Festival seems to be a good time to have a good time. What's more, there are few civil lawsuits in public courts. Wanjie travels to Shengchuntai and enjoys the island of gods and immortals 10 miles away. The plains are not as proud as Gaoyang. What's more, there are few civil lawsuits in public courts. Wanjie travels to Shengchuntai and enjoys the island of gods and immortals 10 miles away. The plains are not as proud as Gaoyang. Promote the table with grace and smile with words. He doesn't hesitate to fight in Yushan and get drunk. Mulan Hualing. I haven't heard of Dong Juanxin for 10 years. One night, the wind came to relieve my stupor. The red gauze clothes are thin, the wheat is cold in autumn, and the green ruffles are moist with plum rain. The melon head is green and tender. Get the golden peach new powder. The high sun rolls up the crystal curtain, still carrying the red jade in the spring mash. Magnolia flower order, Gaoping has strong bases on all sides. The scenery in March is beautiful for the first time. The peaches and plums in the garden make the king's family drunk, and the tourists in the pavilions on the city are drunk. The song turns to willow and the golden statue boils. Drinking loose Ping Lan has unlimited meaning. Yuguan is far away and nowhere to be seen in the depths of the clouds. The grass is thin and the mountains are thick with residual light. Poppy, Bing Ji is naturally thin. That's more after the flight. The long curtain of day looks towards dusk. At dusk, I turn into ecstasy. You also know that lovesickness is painful. How can I bear to abandon my slave? Pass the mountain without hesitation. I'm afraid it's easy to say goodbye to him, but hard to see him. Poppy, I spent the Qingming festival deep in the courtyard. The peaches and plums are first red. Willow silk is placed on the jade railing. It's raining and slightly cold outside the curtain. The pavilion becomes brighter in the evening when the weather clears. Drunk before mosaic. The quiet moon invades the corridor in the middle of the night. Walking around alone. Good to think about. Linjiang Ferry, where to stay across the river last night. I suspected it was Qinhuai. When the moon comes out, who will play the flute and mourn? The passionate king thanked his daughter and chased her across the river. The clouds and rain disperse before they come true, and it is difficult to think about good things. Ping Ling rushes with the oar to urge him. After Xiangyi returns, your feelings should be like mine. Dai Lianhua, spring is fading and the grass is resting. The scenery in the guest house is the Qingming festival again. In the small courtyard, people recall farewell at dusk. Falling red and hearing cries of crows everywhere. The mountains and rivers so close to each other are divided into Chu and Yu. The eyes are broken and the soul is lost, and the sound should be dead. The dream breaks and the heart breaks. The trumpet blows down the plum blossom moon. Dai Lianhua, I remember the first time we met at Huaping. The sweet dream came back with a start, and I looked across Gaotang Road. The swallows flew back and forth. The screen window has several spring twilights. That day we met with embroidered curtains. He lowered his eyes and pretended to walk, while his smile filled the fragrant clouds. I am so ashamed that I am speechless. It's hard to express your deep feelings in front of others. Dai Lianhua. Last night the autumn wind came thousands of miles away. The moon is on the screen, and the coldness penetrates people's clothes. There is a guest holding a quilt and feeling sleepy. That jade leakage is as long as years. I have not even thought about returning to the prison. The dream is broken, the soul is lost, and the pillow is filled with lovesickness and tears. The belt becomes wider and wider, which has no other meaning. The new book makes me feel haggard. Dai Lianhua, rain and sleet loosen the meridians and throw fire. The swings in the alleys have not yet passed the Qingming festival. The fragrant buds on the apricot tips are broken. Light red faded to white rouge. Suffering is frustrated by passion. I feel sick and tired, as if I was old. I walked around the corridor and sat alone. The moon cage and clouds darken the door lock. Dai Lianhua, butterflies, lazy orioles are halfway through spring. The flowers are falling in the strong wind, and the small courtyard is full of red. Drunk in the afternoon and not awake yet, red sun and night. No one rolls the curtains of dusk. The hair on the temples is fluffy and the eyebrows are light. I am always worried about the matchmaker, who wants to tell me for entertainment. If you don't believe this, it's hard to tie up. Yanghua still has the east wind pipe. Yu Jia Ao walking across the water, we return to Wanyan. When I return, I feel emotionally moved. Smell the plum flute a few times in the smoke. Autumn is heavy. The snow in the western mountains is light and the clouds are frozen. Who can share a glass of wine? Dance in the snow and sing wildly before you. A goldfish hangs across the waist. What will be used? It can only be used as decoration for a floating dream. Jiang Qingzi, her greasy red face lined her sandalwood lips. New evening makeup. Secretly hurting spring. Who can frown when he twists flower branches with his hands? Lianli takes the lead in pairing, leaving it to the right person. The moonlight in the smoke cage is embroidered in the shade. The painting hall is deep. In the deep night, who knows how to win people's hearts? As soon as I peeked out of the green window, I became haggard until now. Hoping Tai is near, hang up the light sail, paddle quickly, and cross the Diaoyutai road. Drunk and sick, I lie down on my pillow and listen to the sound of the boat. Heartbroken clusters of clouds and mountains. There are many smoke trees. Looking back, where is the lonely city? Who wants to harm King Xiang by lingering, never dreams of clouds and rain. Old hatreds and former joys, and there is no basis for both thoughts and feelings. You must know that there is no reason to want to see, and the infatuation is still there. The beautiful way of humanity. A message. The flowers bloom slowly in the rain, where the heavy curtains in the courtyard are. It arouses a lot of sentimentality and worries about the scenery. When I get up from bed, the wine is gone. A message. The flowers bloom slowly in the rain, where the heavy curtains in the courtyard are. It arouses a lot of sentimentality and worries about the scenery. When I get up from bed, the wine is gone, the flowers have faded, and the butterflies and bees are busy. Who is playing the sheng in the north ridge tonight, waiting for the moon in the west wing? In the empty gaze, a red apricot plant leans against the low wall. His shy face is easy to change, he is quick to predict others, and he is constantly being guessed and guarded against. Who believes, some love. Infinitely desolate. Good things come without interruption. Yohuan is ordinary. Generally speaking, the taste is fragrant and beautiful, unless you taste it secretly. The flowers bloom slowly in the rain. Yohuan is ordinary. Generally speaking, the taste is fragrant and beautiful, unless you taste it secretly. Bright moon and empty bed. I remember that at the beginning, when I first started to harmonize with the clouds and rain, I started to imitate the swan and the phoenix. Unexpectedly, just 3 sprigs of peaches and plums, a night of wind and frost. Bright moon and empty bed. I remember that at the beginning, when I first started to harmonize with the clouds and rain, I started to imitate the swan and the phoenix. Unexpectedly, just 3 sprigs of peaches and plums, a night of wind and frost. The painting is speechless and smileless, and makes me sad after looking at it. On the sleeves. There are still lingering traces of daisy, and the lingering fragrance is gradually diminishing. I forgot about it when I was drunk, but I thought about it after drinking. Even if I owe you, I will shed tears on my pillow, thousands of lines. Nianujio, Mid-Autumn Festival, looking far into the distance. Seeing the sky thousands of miles away, there are no traces of clouds. The osmanthus flies to the place where the light shines, and the autumn green is soaked in the cold for a day. Yu Qianglu, riding a swan to and fro, people are in Qingliang country. The mountains and rivers are picturesque, and the smoke and trees are visible in the distance. I was drunk, clapping my hands and singing wildly, raising my arms to welcome the moon, and facing each other as 3 guests. Dancing and wandering under the wind and dew, I don't know what night it is. He wanted to ride on the wind, but he turned over and returned. There was no use riding on the wings of a rock. In the Crystal Palace. A blast broke the fife. Water dragon sings, the small ditch is connected to the Yangtze River in the east, and the willow embankments and reed banks are connected to the clouds. Yensuan is lively and lively, with people busy and busy, and there is a morning market for fisherman and woodcutter. Living day and night forever, every inch of Yin is spent in vain. What happened? But silken water shield, jade lotus root, pearl and japonica koi carp, they are nostalgic for each other and have passed through the years. Because I miss my old couple in Fuzhou, I got used to being intoxicated in Yaoqi and Yuqiu. What happened? But silken water shield, jade lotus root, pearl and japonica koi carp, they are nostalgic for each other and have passed through the years. Because I miss my old couple in Fuzhou, I got used to being intoxicated in Yaoqi and Yuqiu. Qinghuan sings and dances, bought clothes sway, heaven and earth in the pot. Falling into the world, the sound of every step is broken, and the cold wind blows. Falling into the world, the sound of every step is broken, and the cold wind blows. Holding the plain harp in my arms, I am alone in the shadow of the silver toad. On the evening of autumn in the Milky Way, the lights on the long gate are quiet, and the sound of the first arrival is heard. You should remember Xiaoxiang, the shore is far away, the people are quiet, and the water is rich in wild rice. Looking at the flat fields, I wandered about to get down, but the wind blew up in front of me. You must believe that there is no one in Hangyang thousands of miles away. Jin Shu is sent from afar. Beyond the thousands of clouds, there are diagonal and horizontal formations, and the talents are sparse and decorated. The moon is shining brightly on the cacti, and under the stone city, the shadows are shaking on the cold water. Before the clothes were pounded, the beautiful woman brushed the pestle and shed tears. The fisherman, 4 songs. When the fisherman drinks, whose house will he go to? Fish and crab are paid in one time. There is no amount of wine and no amount of drunkenness, no matter how much money each other has. The fisherman was drunk and danced on his coir raincoat. Drunk but looking for a way back. The short boat was leaning sideways, and I didn't know where I was when I woke up. The fisherman woke up, it was noon on the river in spring. The dream is broken and the flowers are flying. Even when you are sober, you are still drunk, and you are still awake, smiling at all times. The fisherman smiled and the gull lifted up. A river in the desert is full of wind and rain. The man riding a horse by the river is an official, and he lends me his lonely boat to cross south. Drunk man Chow, when I drink wine, I often forget to return with joy. More than 10 years have passed since then, and curious people followed and heard about his travels. They wrote the sound on the Qin and called it Drunkard Man Chow. However, there is a voice, but no words. Although one composed songs, they did not match the sound of the piano. He also made a drunken man's introduction based on Chu's poems, and good people also relied on his poems to compose music. Although the rhyme is rough, the sound of the piano is bound by the words, which is not natural. More than 30 years later, Wang donated the library building, but he did not stay there for long. There is Cui Xian, a Taoist from Yujian in Lushan Mountain, who is very good at playing the qin. I hated the fact that there were no words in this song, so I composed the sound and asked a layman from Dongpa to make up for it. The drunken man screams and sings, and the sound harmonizes with the flowing spring. After the drunkard left, there was nothing left to complain about in the morning and night. The mountain sometimes reaches its peak. The water sometimes returns to Sichuan. Si Weng has no years.